Duterte is hereby called to order. We shall be led in prayer by Senator Judge Christopher Bongo.
Almighty and loving God, O Allah, we come before you today with humility, mindful of the solemn duty entrusted to us and the weight of the decisions that lie ahead. Grant us wisdom to discern what is right, courage to uphold the truth, and fairness in every judgment we make. Keep us from prejudice, anger, personal interest, and political pressure. Help us listen with patience, speak with honesty, and act according to conscience, the Constitution, and the welfare of the Filipino people. Gabayan ninyo kaming lahat ng may tungkulin sa mga pagdinig na ito. Naway ang bawat panig ay mabigyan ng pagkakataong marinig, ang bawat ebidensya ay mapag-aralang mabuti, at ang bawat pasya ay nakabatay sa katotohanan, katarungan, at tamang proseso. Remind us that public office is a sacred trust. May we never lose sight of the people whose lives are affected by our words, our actions, and our decisions. Let the pursuit of truth strengthen our institutions and deepen our commitment to serve with integrity and compassion. Lord, bring healing to our nation. Where there is division, grant us understanding, patience, and unity. Where there is distrust, restore faith. Where there is fear and anger, give us calmness and restraint. When these proceedings are concluded, help us move forward together. Naway makabalik na kami sa aming pangunahing tungkulin, ang magserbisyo at maglingkod sa ating mga kababayan. Naway maituon naming muli ang aming buong pansin sa paglilingkod sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga higit na nangangailangan. Lastly, may the Philippine Senate remain united in fulfilling its role as the last bastion of democracy. Within these halls, may truth prevail and the true voice of the Filipinos be heard. May compassion for others be a steadfast virtue we live by in our words and in our actions. And may we, your senator judges, be instruments of your grace in the pursuit of peace, justice, and the common good. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. The clerk of court will now call the roll.
Roll call of members. Senator Judge Aquino. Senator Judge Cayetano Alan. Senator Judge Cayetano Pia. Senator Judge De La Rosa. Senator Judge Ejercito. Senator Judge Estrada. Senator Judge Go. Senator Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Lacson. Senator Judge Lapid. Senator Judge Legarda. Senator Judge Marcoleta. Senator Judge Marcos. Senator Judge Padilla. Senator Judge Pangilinan. Senator Judge Soto III. Senator Judge Tulfo Erwin. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi. Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Villar Camille. Senator Judge Villar Mark. Senator Judge Zubiri. The presiding officer, Senator Judge Escudero. Senate President Gatchalian.
With 19 senators present, the chair declares the presence of the quorum.
With the permission of the body, if there are no objections, we dispense with the reading of the July 13, 2026 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and shall consider the same as approved. The clerk will please call the case before the impeachment court.
Case number 004-2026 in the matter of impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
Appearances? For the
Good
prosecution?
afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready, Your Honor.
For the respondent?
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance for the defense.
I see that Attorney Lotok is already situated in the witness
Yes, Your Honor.
stand. To remind you, Attorney Lotok, you shall continue with your testimony and be subjected to the continuation of cross-examination of counsel for respondent and shall be answering under the same oath that you took yesterday. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Respondent counsel may now continue with this cross-examination. Attorney Binduan, you are recognized and may proceed whenever you are ready.
Your Honor, before we proceed, may I request that counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized once more for the examination of our second witness.
Counsel for the prosecutors, Attorney Ligutan is recognized on the part of the panel of prosecutors. Again, to reiterate, Attorney Binluan, when you are ready, you may proceed with the continuation of your cross-examination of the witness, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, sir.
So yesterday, you identified videos, correct?
Yes, sir.
And specifically, portions of the November 23, 2024 press con.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, in that press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics. Correct?
Mhm.
In other words,
Mr. Witness, kindly answer yes
Ye-
or no,
yes,
and
sir.
not simply say, mhm.
in other words,
Sorry, Your Honor.
she said many statements in that press con.
She said many statements, sir.
All right. My question is this. Do you know for sure that VP Sara's statements during that press con happened in real life?
In real life? Well,
Objection, Your Honor, incompetent. The statements happening in real life as to the real life of the Vice President, this witness is being asked that question. Of course, the witness is incompetent, Your Honor, please.
If he
Counsel,
knows.
counsel, kindly reform. It seems the witness did not understand
Okay,
the
let
question
me
as well.
let me help you. I'm showing you also a portion of our exhibit D-1-145-A. This is the whole version of the video that the portions there that you identified yesterday. And particularly, I'll show you timestamp 51-07 or :07 onwards of the video. In this video, the Vice President mentioned about events that happened inside the Batasang Pambansa. Can we play that video, please?
Dapat sa demokrasya, there's a rule of law. And then they make rules as they go along. Releases the speaker, get her out of the House of Representatives kasi hindi siya dapat nandiyan. Bakit? Pag may-ari niyo ba itong compound na ito, then sasabihin pa nila sa akin na there is a threat to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa? Why is there a threat to my life?
All right. My question to
Your
you
Honor,
is
Your
this.
Honor, point of clarification, if I may, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, there is a video that is marked in evidence capturing the events on November 23, 2024. And here we have the defense.
Your Honor, may we just
Oh,
note
wait,
the
wait, wait.
objection, Your Honor?
Wait, I'm
This
explaining.
is not the time for lecture, Your Honor.
Counsel have not yet recognized you. Let counsel for the prosecutor
Your Honor,
finish.
point of clarification, they are presenting a video with anecdotes. I'm now questioning the propriety of the defense presenting a video without laying the basis where this video came from, who is the source of those annotations there too. Because, Your Honor, there's a video. They're confronting this witness with that video by presenting their own annotated, it's like a props, Your Honor, please. This is highly irregular in the court of law.
Counsel for the respondent, is this the video previously marked in evidence?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, we marked it in evidence as D-4-3, Your Honor. And this was also marked by the prosecution as their own. They have a separate
No.
marking for this, Your
No.
Honor.
This is part of the
No.
2-hour and so-and-so minute video?
Correct, Your Honor. At any rate, Your
Your
Honor,
Honor,
if I may be
Counsel
allowed
for
to
the
finish.
prosecutor, kindly hold on.
At any rate, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent,
Okay.
the chair is not yet done. And the annotation below the video, is that part of the marked video?
This is part, Your Honor, of a separate exhibit that is also part of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G, Your Honor. This is Mr. Calilong's own transcription of the video, just to be clarified. on
But
that
who
matter.
put it there?
We just placed it there, Your Honor. So we're making him identify actually the video as well as the appropriate transcription, which are both part of the Articles of Impeachment and Annex G9. Your
Presiding
Honor.
officer will allow it. Witness may answer.
So the question is, can you confirm for certain that these statements or any part thereof happened in real life?
Can you give me the timestamp, Your Honor, para ma-compare ko siya?
Timestamp 51-07.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
You may do so, sir.
Anong timestamp, sir?
5107.
To help this honorable court, Your Honor, it appears on page 84 or more or less of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor. This is the transcription of Agent John Mark Calilong dated December
Meron ka
26, 2024. For the record, Your Honor.
Noted.
Pwede ako patingin na lang kung ulang ito. Timestamp 51.
Show it. Your Honor, in the interest of time, can we confront the witness with our own copy
Your own copy of what, counsel?
of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor?
Well, counsel, assisting counsel for the prosecutor is there. If in case there are any problems, kindly confirm if indeed that is the document being shown to the witness.
Wala din siya.
Page 14. Page 14.
That is page 14 of the Affidavit of Transcription.
Page 14. Saan to? This is page 14. Saan to?
Your Honor, I manifest that we are showing that specific portion on the transcript prepared by Agent Calilong of the NBI. But actually, Your Honor, even without consultation with the transcript, my answer is very simple. I'm just asking Your Honor. My question, I'm sorry, is very simple. My only question is, does he know for certain that these statements or any part of this statement happened in real life?
Your Honor, nabasa ko po rito sa copy ko, yung nandiyan dyan.
So do you confirm that the statements were made by the Vice President, Mr. Witness?
It's here in the transcription, Your Honor, yes.
No. My question is not whether she made the statement. My question is, if you know, based on your personal knowledge, if any statement or a portion thereof happened in real life. That's the question.
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we have the video on November 26, when the Vice President reiterated what she uttered in November 23, 2024.
Your Honor, I'm not even...
And at the same time, Your Honor,
The
maybe
witness is in the process of
manifestation.
Allow the
answering.
witness to answer.
Your Honor, we invited the media personalities who have personal knowledge on that date and on that online press conference. And nung tinanong namin sila kung nag-participate sila, sabi nila yes, nakausap nila yung Vice Presidente, nagbigay sila ng mga katanungan. So definitely yes, nangyari po yun.
Your Honor, may you manifest, Your Honor, make a manifestation?
Yes, counsel.
Your
for
Honor,
this
it appears that the witness is not being responsive to our question. He's talking about something that I did not ask. We are only focusing on this particular statement. We will show other statements later on. And we cannot get an answer from him if he knows.
Council, even I am confused with the question happened in real life. I think some of us are too.
Mm-mm.
If the
I'll be more
question-
specific,
If
Your
the
Honor.
question is kung alam nyo bang totoong nangyari to sa totoong buhay, ang sagot ng testigo ay sa pagkakaalam niya ay oo, base sa kanilang investigasyon at sinabi ng mga inimbitahan nilang testigo.
All right. I'll clarify the question, Your
Kindly
Honor.
do so, Council.
All right. In this statement, for example, the Vice President said there were threats to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa. Are you confirming that?
That is within the
All right.
transcription here, sir.
Now, my question to you is this. Did you investigate those threats
Objection,
to VP
Your Honor.
Sara's June?
Okay now.
I'm not yet done.
All right,
Allowed-
sige.
I'm not
Allow-
yet done.
Yes,
Counsel,
yes. So.
Did you investigate the threat to VP Sara's life during that time?
Objection. Now, misleading, Your Honor.
What is it?
Because the question was, do you confirm that that statement is found in the transcription as to the Vice President saying that there were threats to her life? And then the witness said, yes, I confirm that I can find it in the transcription. Now, the next question of the good counsel is, so did you investigate the threats? That is the classic misleading question.
Can we get the
Assuming a
ruling, Your
fact.
Honor?
Counsel, he's a lawyer. Attorney Lotok is a lawyer and he knows exactly what's going on. Attorney Lotok, kindly answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your answer?
What's the question, sir?
The question is, she mentioned there about the threats to his life. My question is simple. Did you investigate the threats to VP Sara's life during that time?
You mean during the live stream, sir?
During that time, correct. That during that live stream, she mentioned that there were threats
That-
to her life.
Well, based on our investigation, nangyari yung live stream between 11 p.m. 22 to 1 a.m. 23. And then nalaman namin through, nung kumalat siya sa social media, nung mga hapon na, kaya nag-start kami ng investigation. At that time, hindi pa namin alam yung buong laman ng video na yan kasi nag-start pa lang kami. So, I instructed Agent Kalilong na siya maging agent on case and then kunin niya yung video, the whole video para sa authentication.
Attorney
And
Lotok,
so far-
kindly answer the question directly. So I get from your long answer that the answer is no.
Specifically at that live stream moment, no, sir. Hindi pa
That
namin
was the
alam yan, sir.
question of Attorney Binluan. If you investigated at that time, so the answer is no.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But
please proceed.
But later on, you said you did an investigation. So are you admitting that there were threats to the life of VP Sara?
Precisely, that's the reason why we sent a December 2, 2024 letter for VP Sara to shed light on our investigation.
All right, I'll move on to a different part of the video. On page also of Exhibit D-1-145-A, this now pertains to timestamp 5930 onwards of the video recording. So page 15 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong of the NBI, dated December 26, 2024. Can we show that video and then provide the appropriate transcript? Can you play that again, please?
Yung speaker mo, pinabayaan mo siya abusuhin ang pera ng bayan. Paikot-ikot sa buong bansa, namimigay ng pera na para bang kanya yung pera. Eh di ba nga, lagi niyo sinasabi separation of powers? Anong trabaho ng legislative branch? Gumawa ng batas. Anong ginagawa ni Martin Romualdez? Nagdidirect ng DSWD, namimigay ng ayuda, nagsasabi kung anong bibigay, anong ibibigay, anong gagawin, sino ba ang presidente?
All right. So my question to you is this. Okay, having watched that video and read the transcript, my question is very simple. Do you know for sure if this statement by the Vice President, or any part thereof happened in real life?
Well, Your Honor, as I've said, I've answered already. Nung inimbestigahan namin yan, yung video,
Your Honor,
Nagsamping na kami
a yes
sa-
or no answer will suffice, Your Honor.
Kindly answer more directly to save on the court's time, Mr. Attorney Lotok.
Your Honor, based on our investigation, yes, it happens in the natural order of things. Nangyari talaga yan.
So in other words, you're admitting that Martin Romualdez goes around the country to distribute money?
I'm saying nangyari ho yung utterances na yan.
That's not my
Vice President.
question. That's precisely my point. I'm not asking if she made the statements. I'm asking if the truth of these statements you have personal knowledge of. So be more direct in your answer.
That's why I have to object now, Your Honor. Now, there are several statements made, and then the witness is being asked, do you confirm these statements? Compound question. Exactly, that's the reason why we don't allow. There are so many statements o sinasabi gumawa ng batas. So siguro yung tanong is this happen, did this happen in real life? So this witness being confronted with several statements and he is being asked to answer a yes or no. That's why it's compound question.
Your Honor, my question is the statements or any part thereof, Your Honor. The witness is smart
Yeah.
enough to answer. He can just clarify.
The objection, the objection is sustained, but not on that ground, but rather in the ground that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter stated by the Vice President. He can only testify as to the fact that those statements were made only as to tenor, but not as to the truth, given that he only investigated and was not there. You may proceed, counsel.
In that case, Your Honor, if we confront also just a manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
In other words, Your Honor, we would like to manifest, Your Honor, based on that ruling of the court, that even if VP Sara said that she already talked to a person, then we cannot confirm the truth because this witness does not have personal knowledge.
That's a conclusion.
That's just a
Objection.
manifestation for the court's appreciation. Can I just proceed with
Can I
my
make
next
a
question,
counter
Your Honor?
manifestation, Your Honor, please? Counter manifestation, please. To put into record, Your Honor, please.
For about 15 seconds, counsel.
Okay,
Yes.
the defense is entitled to their own conception of things. They're entitled to their own imagination. That's all.
Counsel may proceed with his cross.
Just to belabor this point, Your Honor, Annex D-1-145-A. Anyway, Your Honor, they showed around 7 to 8 videos yesterday, so we'll show about 4. This pertains to timestamp 1-08-58, and we will also present page 17 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. In this video clip, the Vice President mentioned about the former Speaker of the House and the confidential funds of the Office of the President. Can we play that video?
Hindi kami dumadaan ng conteste. Kasi wala kang kalaban sa Tacloban. Kasi binibili mo, pinapakidnap mo, hinaharas mo ang mga kalaban mo. Hindi ka dumaan ng contest. Ang alam mo lang, kasi mayaman ka, bibiliin ko lahat ng tao ng pera. Ipobre man mong tanan, kwarta na may inyo. There is nothing in you except money. Yan lang. Martin, harapin mo yung katotohanan. Walang senador man, vice president man, president man, walang mabuti sa'yo. Hindi ko nga alam kung mananalo ka pa ngayon sa Tacloban eh. Malamang hindi na. Sinong gusto sa lahat sa buong Pilipinas kung ibalik ka sa Kongreso? Hindi lahat ng tao pupunta yan doon sa Tacloban, mangangampanya yan sa kalaban mo. Kasi magnanakaw. dumadaan sa audit. Milyon-milyon, buwan-buwan. Certification lang ng congressman. 1 million, 2 million, pirma lang. Alam nyo, bakit alam ko? Kasi may MA din ako. May MA ako sa DepEd, may MA ako sa OBP. Pero sa akin, nire-require ako ng resibo ng COA. Pero alam ko, certification lang ang kailangan. Pero nagko-comply ako. Bigay nyo lahat ng resibo. Pero ikaw, pirma mo lang, hindi mo nga ata pirma yan, pirma lang ng staff mo yan. Milyon-milyon dyan sa Committee on Accounts, lumalabas ang pera. Pirma nyo lang. Walang nag-audit sa inyo. Sino ang nag-audit ng confidential funds ng Office of the President? Wala. Yan ang Pilipinas. Yan! Bagong Pilipinas. Kriminal ang speaker. Bakit ko nasabi kriminal siya? Basahin niyo yung kaso niya sa United States of America.
Okay.
Sinungaling, presidente.
All right. All right. Again, my question based on this video is very simple. She spoke about Speaker Martin Romualdez as well as the President. Can you confirm or do you know for sure that these statements about Martin Romualdez or the President are true?
Okay. Your Honor, I will object on the same ground, and I hope that the presiding officer will do the same ruling. This witness is incompetent. I know what the defense is doing, Your Honor. Objection. Incompetent. This witness is highly incompetent as to whether he knows whether those statements are in fact
What's the ground for
happening.
the objection? Can we just be informed of the ground for the objection?
I just said it. Incompetent.
Your-
This witness
Can we
is
get the ruling,
incompetent.
Your Honor?
Chair made an earlier ruling already that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter. But since Attorney Lotok, you're a lawyer, I will give it this time to the counsel for the respondents. Kindly respond. Since you're a lawyer, you should know the proper answer to this question. Kindly respond to the question of counsel for respondent.
Again, I do not know personally about the factual circumstances. What I know is that she uttered those statements.
We're satisfied with that answer, no? Your Honor. One last
Proceed,
video.
counsel.
One last video. On page 87 of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9, this is timestamp 1-12-43. This is quite a lengthy video, but not as lengthy. But this is our last video, so we beg the court's indulgence. The affidavit of transcription, page 17, also of Agent Park Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. Are we ready with that video?
Your Honor, to save
Counsel for the prosecutors.
because I know the council will ask the same question. So to save time, Your Honor, please, since the
Your Honor,
council-
what
Oh,
is
wait,
the
wait, wait.
objection?
I'm not yet done. I'm not yet done.
Kindly let
Relax.
the counsel for the prosecutor finish.
Relax. Now, Your Honor, if the same line of question will be asked, okay.
Your
the
Honor,
wait, wait, I'm
We
not yet
cannot,
done.
he cannot
I'm not
preempt,
yet
Your
done.
Honor.
I'm not yet done. The prosecution is willing to stipulate that yes, the vice president uttered that statement as to the fact of her uttering the statement.
We have a different question, Your Honor, just to satisfy his query.
All right.
So I guess the objection is withdrawn, or the manifestation is withdrawn, and counsel for respondent may proceed
Play the
with
video,
the
please.
showing of the playing of the video.
At nang kainin ko, buffet. Saan dito sa House of Representatives. Alak. Lahat. Lahat ng juice, lahat ng mamahaling wine. Pero yung taong bayan, na prinamisan ninyo, ng 20 pesos na rice, yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila, ano sabi nila? Asin lang okay na mi, anad naman mi ana. Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Saan ka nakahanap ng bayan na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning government, umukay na lang sa asin. Buti na nga lang, abogado si Atty. Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga pumasok sa kwarto niya. Na take note, nagnakaw pa ng cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao. Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Naririnig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much nga po pala sa dala niyong hopya nung hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Cardema. Yan. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay lang,
Nag-aalala po kami
ma'am, kasi sila naman na eh. Sila talaga yung bastos eh. You reap
Opo,
what you
okay.
sow.
Yeah. Mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin or yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balakin in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday crew, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Eh ano po kaya ang remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon or ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito, lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power na?
Yes. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagdilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa Makabayan Block nung mayor pa ako. Ang laban, wala dyan sa EDSA, ma'am. Wala dyan sa mga highway. Ang laban, ma'am, nandun sa loob ng palasyo. Yan ang problema. We appreciate yung expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness. Kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon. Alam ko yan, ma'am, kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang sinasabihan, binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo, iboto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa ginagawa ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, I'm sure nakikita yan ang taong bayan and na-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno. Di ba dapat yung gobyerno natin na nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao? Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang nagpapahirap lalo sa tao? Kasi gusto ba nila lagi na lang mahirap ang mga tao para madali mapasunod? May mga lugar kami sa Mindanao na ganyan ang mga politiko. Gusto nila mahirap lahat. E bahugan lang nila ang kwarta. Governor na sila, mayor na sila, congressman na sila. Hanapin niyo, ma'am, yung mga lugar na sobrang hirap sa Mindanao. Tingnan niyo anong gawain ng politiko. Pinapakain lang ng pera ang tao. Binabastos yung kanilang pagkatao. Dahil wala silang pakialam.
Attorney Lotok, she said a lot of statements in that portion of
Yes,
the
sir.
video. In fact, that statement included the statement which you investigated, correct?
Included in the transcription, sir. Yeah.
All right. Now you get the point. My question to you is this. Can you confirm now that the statement she made about BBM, FL, and the former speaker, and the congressman relating to various acts of corruption are true and happened in real life?
As to the existence of that utterances, yes, sir.
All right. So you just admitted that the congressmen are all corrupt.
As to
Okay,
the
thank you for that.
existence
Thank you
of
for that.
utterances.
Objection.
Yes, sir.
That is a foul side remark.
She said she.
The
I wasn't
counsel
the
is
one who said it,
twisting
Your Honor.
the answer of the witness. If
the
I may,
witness
can I
was the one who
finish?
said yes.
Counsel
Can I
for the
finish?
parties, kindly settle down.
Can I finish?
The witness said that he confirmed as to the fact that the utterances were made.
That's why, Your Honor, I am objective.
Kindly be more specific. Attorney Lotok, you know what's being asked for.
Yes, sir.
Finish and complete your answer to avoid the misunderstanding.
Based on our investigation, as to the existence of that utterances, yeah, dahil may mga pieces of evidence kami. But whether or not nangyari yan, wala ho akong personal knowledge, sir.
All right. In the same way, you also do not have personal knowledge that VP Sara contracted an assassin, correct?
Your Honor, the video dated November 26, 2024, the Vice President reiterated.
It's
and in
answerable by
fact,
yes or
there
no, Your
was-
Honor. How can he be?
He is answering.
How can he be?
Councils, kindly settle down. This is not a college debate. Attorney Lotok, the question was simple. Kindly answer the question directly.
Yes, sir.
You
That
do not
it-
have personal knowledge.
That utterances made by the Vice President that she contracted a person, I do believe that, sir, because of the pieces of evidence that we've gathered, sir.
No, I'm not asking whether or not she said those statements. I'm asking if you have personal knowledge based on this that the Vice President really contracted an assassin
Ask and
or
answer.
a person.
Objection. Ask and answer. Second
Witness will
time around.
answer.
Based on our investigation, Your Honor, we do believe that the Vice
Attorney
President.
Lotok, the question was, do you have personal knowledge?
As to the fact of the utterances, and then when the Vice President reiterated that in
Attorney
November
Lotok, you're a
26,
smart
yes, sir.
man. Just answer the question. Do you have personal knowledge? You said that as to the other parts, you do not have personal knowledge. But now my question to you is as to the part whether VP Sara talked to that person about BBM and FL and the speaker, do you have personal knowledge or not?
Pwede ko pong explain, Your Honor.
No,
please?
just answer the question, yes or no.
Your Honor, I think
Attorney Latok, this is not the first time you attended a trial. I'm sure counsel for the prosecutors and redirect will be able to clarify whatever you want to clarify. But in the meantime, answer the question of counsel for the respondent.
Yeah, we do believe that the Vice President had contracted, but I don't have personal knowledge. Kung personal knowledge ang gusto niyong malaman, pero we do believe based on the evidence that we've gathered and based on our investigation.
Thank you for that admission. All right. The press con was broadcasted to the general public, correct?
Social media, sir, yes.
In other words, everybody listening to it could hear the statements made by VP Sara.
We believe so, sir, yes.
Are you aware that the Vice President is a lawyer?
Yes, sir, of course.
That he has, of course, a law degree and passed the bar exams?
Yes, sir.
With the first attempt and with the rating of 80%, are you aware of this?
I heard it in the news, sir.
Oh, she has a higher grade than most of the lawyers here. But are you aware that she also worked as a court
objection,
attorney?
relevance, Your Honor. Relevance. Objection,
Counsel for the
relevance.
respondent, kindly avoid those
Yes.
We will comply, Your
disparaging
Honor.
statements, given that there are a lot of lawyers here and you don't know what their grades are.
We will comply, Your Honor. So my question to you is this. If she was serious about her alleged plan involving BBM, FL, and the former speaker, does it make sense for her that she would publicly announce this to the general public? If you know.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
All right. In fact, you showed in your direct examination, you also showed portions of the October 18 press con, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that press con was also done in general, before the general public, correct?
I believe so, sir.
All right. Based on your investigation or your experience as an investigator, kapag may balak bang patayin ng isang tao, sinasabi ba nila yung plano nila sa general public?
Well, kapag may grave threat, sir, naririnig yun ng ibang tao.
All right. My more important question to you is this. Did VP Sara directly say her statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Well, the fact na sinabi niya yan in public,
Again, Your Honor,
definitely narinig
maybe
yun
ask
ng
for a more
presidente.
responsive answer.
Attorney
That's the answer.
Latok, kindly answer. The answer is actually quite obvious. It's a simple question. Did the Vice President utter those statements directly towards the persons allegedly threatened?
We believe so, Your Honor, because the utterances was made in public.
So what's the answer? Did
We believe so, yeah.
VP Sara directly say those statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Ask and answered. He said, we believe so.
But we did not get the responsive answer, Your
That's
Honor.
the
Can we
answer, you
ask
didn't
the
get it.
witness to give a more responsive answer?
That's his answer. We believe so. Yes, that's a yes. That's so clear.
Without putting words into the mouth of the witness, I will be the one to ask. Attorney Latok, you meant yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Proceed, counsel.
All right. Are you aware that in one interview following the press con, BBM mentioned that he was open for reconciliation with the Vice President?
I'm not aware of that.
Not
sir.
aware. Okay, I'll make you aware today. Can we play D-4-12, please?
Mr. President, kayo po ba sa puso ninyo, gusto niyo bang makipagkasundo pa sa mga Duterte?
Oo. Ako, ayoko ng gulo. Gusto ko makasundo sa lahat ng tao. Mas maganda, marami na akong kaaway. Hindi ko kailangan ng kaaway. Kailangan ko kaibigan. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, pagka... Hindi ko... Magko-confess ako dito.
Pwede naman po, para akong pari po dito ngayon po.
Ewan ko, kahit hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko ay yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, lagi nga akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na, alika, magtulungan tayo. Diba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin niyo yung trabaho, pero wag na tayong nanggugulo. Wag na natin, tanggalin natin yung gulo.
All right. Attorney Lotok. So based on that video, BBM was open to reconcile with VP Sara, correct?
Anong date po ng video, sir?
We will provide the date in a while. They're researching on it. But even without the date, you can confirm.
Di, gusto kong malaman kung anong date, sir.
So you cannot answer the question without us providing the date of this
Tininan
interview?
ko kung ilang buwan na yan after nung November 23.
All right.
Move on, counsel. While you're checking on the date, you can go back to that topic.
Now, assuming that this happened after, do you still maintain that BBM really believed in his mind that VP Sara would harm or kill him?
I mean, how would I know that, Your Honor?
Precisely. So you don't know. You cannot know that, Your Honor. Correct?
Yes.
Because you cannot enter the state of mind of the president. Are you admitting that?
Unless there is a basis, Your Honor, gaya ng investigation namin sa appearances ni VP na may mga circumstances. Pag yan lang ang nakita ko, siyempre hindi namin ma-establish yung state of mind ng presidente.
But isn't it in your affidavit of investigation, you mentioned about the state of mind of the president?
State of mind of the president based
Correct. After the statements of VP Sara, you interpreted the mind. It's like you went into the mind of the alleged offended parties, BBM, FL, and the speaker, and based on your own interpretation, you determined or concluded that they were threatened. Is that not the case?
Yeah, ang sinabi doon ng presidente, nakakabahala yung mga narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. And then isa itong kriminal na pagtatangka, ito yung aking papalagan. So at that moment, the president took the utterances serious and real, sir.
But you just based that on his own statement. You did not enter his state of mind, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I think, where is this leading?
What's the
A
objection?
witness is being asked
What's
to
the
enter
basis for
state
the
of
objection, Your
mind.
Honor?
Incompetent.
Kindly wait for the
Incompetence.
counsel for prosecutor to finish his
Incompetent, Your
objection.
Honor. Incompetent. The witness already said that based on their investigation, based on the statement of the president after the event, he said that they determined that the president felt threatened. And the question now is, did you enter his state of mind? Your Honor, please, I think I'm now objecting on the reason that this person is incompetent to
Your Honor,
enter.
we will be satisfied with just the basis. If he had said incompetence, we would ask for a ruling already. He doesn't have to lecture, Your Honor, and for the
Kindly-
record.
Kindly reform, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at.
All right. My question to you is this. Do you have background on forensic psychology?
No.
Do you have a background on behavioral psychology?
Well, we were taught about
Just
that
yes or
subject
no.
matter in
just
the
a
academy.
yes
sir.
or no will do. Do you have a forensic psychology department in NBI's cybercrime division?
Forensic psychology.
Yes.
We have BSD. We have medical legal department.
Medical
we have-
legal only.
We
Okay.
have psychiatrists.
All
we
right.
have psychologists. We have all of those, sir.
All right. In other words, you do not have a professional assessment of the mind of BBM when you conducted this affidavit of investigation, correct?
Okay, sir. The investigation, ganito po ang nangyari. Nung nag-comment yung presidente na nakakabahala yung mga utterances, pera lang ho doon, tiningnan namin yung comment ng iba't ibang government agencies na ganun din yung kanilang reaksyon, nakakabahala yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente, magiging issue yan ng national security. Pera lang ho yun, kinonsider din namin yung comments at impression ng mga media personalities na nag-participate doon sa online press conference. Sabi nila, na-shock sila, nabigla sila, hindi sila na parang totoo yung galit ng Vice President. And then aside from that, from those facts, ganun din ang ginawa namin sa former Speaker sa kanyang reaction. So taking all these facts and circumstances, na-establish namin na indeed yung reaction ng Presidente is trinato niya na seryoso at totoo yung utterances na yon na ginawa ni VP Sara noong 23. So ito ho, kaya lang dito, ipapakita nyo sa akin yan lang mag-isa, hindi namin nakita yung ibang circumstances. Hindi ho ako makakapagsabi kung sa mind ng Presidente is pinatawad na ba niya, ayaw na niya, hindi na ba niya kinoconsider yung mga threat na yon. Pag ganyan lang, Your Honor, sa investigation kasi kailangan makita namin yung iba't ibang circumstansya para ma-establish namin whether or not, ito yung ibig niyang sabihin, ito yung intention niya.
For the record, Your Honor, the date of the video is May 19, 2025. So this came after.
2025. So, mga 7 months, sir?
Yeah, 7 months. All right. So based on your experience as an investigator, baka pwedeng ano na.
Again, hindi sa sufficient, hindi sa sufficient para makita namin. Kasi
Anyway,
we know for a fact na
we're satisfied with your first answer.
The witness still answering?
Well, I didn't even ask a question, Your Honor.
You did, counsel, when you gave the date and asked for his opinion. Kindly finish your answer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Continue to
We, as lawyers, we know for a fact that the state of mind can manifest based on the overt acts of the speaker. So dito kasi, kung ito lang ang pagbabatayan namin, then we try to establish yung intent o yung state of mind ng Presidente, kulang ho yan. So siguro kung may makikita pa kaming ibang circumstances na magpapatunay na binaliwala niya na yung utterances, pinatawad niya yung Vice Presidente, and things like that, then we can somehow said, mukhang ang totoo yung sinabi ng Presidente na pinatawad na niya.
All right, but I'll move on to a different point.
Before counsel for the respondent continues, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano?
Just one specific clarification on that point, just so that we don't lose the point.
The
With your
gentleman
permission,
may proceed.
Mr. Sergeant. Yeah. Excuse me lang sa prosecution and sa defense. Witness, one point lang, maybe one
Yes,
or
sir.
two questions on that
Yes,
point.
Your Honor.
Sabi mo, the President, sa pananaw mo, and yung iba, Speaker Martin felt threatened.
Base doon sa investigation namin, sir.
Base sa investigasyon at base sa video.
Base sa video, sa investigation, at sa ibang testimony.
So if they felt threatened, that means tingin nila totoo yung sinabi ni VP Sara na patayin sila. Kasi they wouldn't feel threatened if they don't think na she meant it, na patayin silang tatlo, right?
In our investigation, they trinato nila yung utterances as seryoso.
Yes,
At
so
banta
they
ito.
won't feel threatened unless tingin nila seryoso yung threat.
According to them, seryoso yung threat.
Yes,
Sir.
okay. But the threat was, pag pinatay niyo ako, papatayin ko kayo. So kung hindi naman nila sila balak patayin, why would they feel threatened? Unless you're saying now, you think, balak nga nilang papatay si Vice President.
Actually, sir, ito, from the point of view of law enforcement like us, yun nga yung naging alarming na issue dun na sa amin, sir. Sa
No,
amin po.
I agree. I'm also, Mr. Vitesa, I'm also alarmed with the language, with saying that. I'm alarmed with what's happening in our country, in flood control, etc. But that's not my point. My point is, in your investigation, para maging grave threat, kailangan yung party na trineten feels threatened. Pero ang sinabi ni VP Sara, pag pinatay ako, patayin silang tatlo. So kung wala naman silang tatlo balak na patayin siya, why would they feel threatened? Did that not come into your mind as an investigator?
What comes into your mind, Your Honor, is yun nga, yung possibility na God forbids may mangyari sa BP na hindi naman alam nung tatlo, then mati-trigger ngayon yung instruction, then papatayin yung tatlo na hindi naman nila alam. At the same time,
No,
may
then in
mga
that,
ibang grupo
then in
na
that case, hindi ba logical, because you're the President of the Philippines, you order the PSC to make sure that walang mangyari sa kanya rather than baliktad na tinanggalan siya ng security.
Nung tinanggap,
I'm just following your logic. I won't
Yes,
I
sir.
won't argue. Finish your ano, and I'm satisfied, Mr. President. I'm just trying to figure out nga no how you came about yung gave threats given
Yeah.
na ang sinabi niya kung papatayin ako. So
we
finish your answer so that
we qualified that grave threats sa term namin as event-based condition na yun nga pag nangyari yung event magti-trigger ngayon yung threat ng Vice President. Now insofar as na-threaten sila yung sinasabi mo po sir na pag namatay si Vice President tsaka papatayin ngayon ng tao na inutusan niya yung tatlo. Ang isa sa alarming na very alarming part na nakita namin yung mga sasakay ho na grupo po eh. Kasi God forbid pwedeng mawala ang Vice Presidente but not necessarily sila yung dahilan. Pwedeng namatay siya for one reason or the other. Then ang impression na ng marami ang may kasalanan nito yung tatlo. So again, magkakalabo-labo na yan. May sasakay na sa issue, thinking na pag pinatay nila yung tatlo, ang sisisihin ngayon yung kampo ni Vice Presidente kasi may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente to that effect. So yun ho yung sa investigation namin. Now insofar as pumasok ho yung elements ng grave threats, yeah, we believe na pumasok yung elements ng grave threats kasi na-satisfy ho lahat ng elements ng grave threat based on the revised manual.
I'm assessing your answer but malayo na malapit yung sagot mo dun sa triggering events kasi parang logical, di ba? Dahil sinabi niya yon baka may gumawa. Hindi nga mag-trigger, papatay sa kanya. So para ma-trigger na patayin ang Pangulo, you're saying that VP Sara is asking other people to kill her so that they can kill Marcos. Di sana sinabi na lang niya patayin niyo si Marcos. Sabi mo i-trigger, but anyway, I'm trying to process. But hindi logical yung sinabi mo that event will trigger. Because the event that will trigger the assassination on the tree is the killing of the Vice President. And the Vice President will not tell people, kill me so that you kill them.
Precisely, Your Honor. Ang death kasi, for instance, mamatay yung Vice Presidente, it does not necessarily follow na yung tatlo yung lang papatay base doon sa attirances. Pwede kasing mamatay yung Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. And again, since walang makakalam kung sino ang pumatay dyan, ang impression ng mga tao ngayon, mati-trigger ngayon yung instruction. Pag na-trigger yung instruction, pwede na ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo, thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito, ang Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, matter of national security po yun. It's a matter of national security, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed with his cross.
So just to, before I leave this point, at any rate, you made all those observations and conclusions without any background on forensic
What do you mean?
psychology, correct?
I don't have background for forensic
All right.
psychology.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I'll go on to a different point. Let's talk about the context of these statements. The press con included a question and answer portion.
Again, sir?
The press con included a question and answer portion.
Yes, I think so.
And the VP Sara statement, which you investigated, was an answer to a question that was asked during the press con.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the focus of your investigation was VP Sara's answer, correct?
What kind of answer, sir?
Answer to the question asked in the press con.
Can you tell me the specific questions and the specific answers?
You were
sir?
the one who investigated it and you don't know the statement that you
Objection vague.
investigated.
I will
Marami yung
object vague.
question doon, maraming answers, sir. Saan po
Exactly.
doon ang
Objection
tinutukoy?
vague.
Sustained. Kindly reform, counsel.
All right. In our exhibit D-1-145A, I will read the transcription. This is the transcription also by John Mark Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. A certain Princess Maui asked,
Counsel may approach from both parties to assist the witness.
mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami ng pasabog ninyo ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them dahil sa pagkakasama ninyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanov. And baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balak in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. My question to you is this. Will you agree that based on this question by one Princess Maui, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family, namely Operation Romanov?
Well, sabi ko nga, narinig ko yung term na Romanov nung binigkas yun ni Mayor Baste noong January during Maisog Rally. Other than that, wala ako kaming validated na about Romanov operation.
But you watched this video, correct? So you heard it also during that time.
Yan ho yung sabi ni Princess Maui, sir.
So you heard
Then,
it.
Nag-invite kami kay Princess Maui, tinanong ko yung agent on case, kung nag-invite ba tayo kay Princess Maui, ang sabi ng agent on case, hindi raw siya nag-appear.
All right.
Kasi we want to clarify
With the
things, sir.
permission of the counsel for the respondent, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Mr. Presiding Officer, kahapon kasi nabanggit yung Romanov and I did mention na para sa akin, nagmula yung salitang Romanov kay Mayor Baste Duterte during a rally yung sa Maisog in Davao. So, ang tanong ko ngayon kay Mr. Witness, matatanong pa ba kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste Duterte patungkol dun sa Romanov that night?
Yes, sir. I will try if
Can you
I
tell
remember
us?
it right. Ang sabi niya, Mr. President, sabi niya, remember what happened to the Romanovs. If I'm not mistaken, sir, parang ang sinasabi niya, kasi mayroong...
No, I think when you go to bed tonight, continue.
Yes, sir. Yan. Sabi ko yan.
Okay?
When you go to bed tonight, think about the Romanovs. Yun po yata yung pagkasabi. Parang sinasabi niya na baka mangyari sa pamilya niyo yon gaya ng nangyari sa inyo noong 1996. Kung tama yung memory ko, sir. Parang ganun po ang sinasabi ni Mayor Baste.
Kaya nga, Mr. Presiding Officer, nagtataka ako na binanggit yan ni Princess Maui doon sa press conference, sa online press conference ni VP Sara, yung Romanov na banta for Sara Duterte when in fact, it was Baste Duterte ang nabitaw ng salita na yon warning sa first family. So, which is which, Mr. Witness, para sa'yo, saan ba talaga yung Romanov nag-umpisa at sino ba talaga ang dapat mag-ingat doon sa banta na Romanov?
Yeah, insofar as our investigation is concerned, since nag-start yan doon kay Mayor Baste, at wala ho kaming ma-validate na ibang Romanov operations na nangyari, I think nag-start yan sa kanila, sir, sa kapatid ng Vice Presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. No other questions? Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records, and counsel for the respondent may continue with this cross.
All right. So you mentioned that just now that Mayor Baste said, think about the Romanovs, correct?
Yan yung statement ni Mayor Baste, sir.
But I'm asking Operation Romanov. So hindi naman think about the Romanovs. My question to you is this.
With the permission of counsel for the respondent, Senator Tulfo seeks recognition again. What is the pleasure of Senator
Yeah,
Tulfo?
I just want to make it clear, Mr. Presiding Officer, na yung threat na yon, yung Romanov na salita, it was used to warn as a threat to the first family. The word Romanov came from the mouth of Mayor Baste Duterte, na para bang binabantaan niya yung first family. You follow me, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun.
Thank
Tama
you.
po yun.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor, that's my question. Can the witness be allowed to answer that question with a manifestation first before he allows?
Kindly repeat the question because even I forgot the question,
All right.
counsel.
You mentioned that Mayor Baste said that statement, think about the Romanovs, etc.
Yes, sir.
But he did not mention Operation Romanov. It was Princess Maui who mention the word Operation Romanov. And I know you don't have, I personally don't have any knowledge about what Mayor Baste said, and that is not the subject of this case. Let's just stick to the facts of this case. Okay, in the video, it was Princess Maui who said Operation Romanov. All right. Now, will you agree with me that based on that question, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family? That's the question.
According to the question, sir, yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned yesterday that you can motu proprio investigate threats against the Vice President.
Under the law, sir, yes.
All right. My next question is very simple. Did you conduct a separate investigation on Operation Romanov?
Well, since ang focus ng operations namin, sir, is cybercrime investigation, I think ang makakasagot niyan yung intelligence service namin, sir. Insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned, ang focus namin, crimes committed by, through, and with the use of information and communication technology. As to the fact whether or not may Operation Romanov, ang makakasagot po niyan either yung intelligence service o yung director ho namin, sir.
So insofar as you are concerned, there is no ongoing investigation on Operation Romanov.
Again, ang focus ho ng investigation namin doon sa grave threat and then inciting to sedition against the Vice President, insofar as the existence of whether or not may Operation Romanov, siguro makakasagot niyan, sir, yung intelligence service, yung director ho namin.
All right. So no. At any rate, are you aware of if the Vice President was the target of unauthorized intelligence or surveillance operations?
I'm not aware, sir.
All right.
With the permission of council, Chair will recognize Senator Judge Pangilinan, thereafter Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Just one or two quick questions.
You may proceed, sir.
On the issue of Princess Maui.
Opo.
And itong investigasyon na sinasabing inimbestigahan ba yung threat against the Vice President. Kung hypothetically dumating si Princess Maui at nagpaliwanag tungkol sa Operation Romanov at sinabi niya ang detalye,
Yes, sir.
kikilos ba ang
Definitely,
cybercrime?
sir.
Ano ang
Definitely.
gagawin ninyo kung nakuha ninyo yung ganong klaseng impormasyon?
We will validate the information first, sir.
Ang problema, sabi nga ninyo kanina, hindi nga humarap.
Opo, sir.
But as in any other case, kung may humarap at pinag-usapan at sinabi ganito yung threat, what is the standard operating procedure of the NBI?
We validate first the information, sir. And then pag confirm na, then we will start case build-up, sir.
Thank you.
Dyan.
Thank you.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Just want to direct my question to the witness here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung Romanov plot, well, aside from what Senator Judge Tulfo said, that came from Baste, but I picked it up doon sa video na pinalabas kanina ng defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung Romanov plot versus Sara, according to Princess Maui. Did you take that information seriously or not?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why nung marinig namin, o makita namin yung question ni Princess Maui about the Romanov, we conducted an open source investigation. Tiningnan ho namin baka meron. Ayun nga, ang nakita namin yung January 2024 during Maisog Rally, if I'm not mistaken, na yung the word Romanov, ang nagbigkas ho noon si Mayor Baste, Your Honor.
All right. So, yung statement ni Princess Maui sa video, how do you rate that info? Sa inyo po sa NBI, sa mga intelligence agencies, yung mga informations po ninyo, may rating. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Witness. For example, pag yung information po ninyo, pag yung information po na natanggap ninyo ay may mga rating po. A1, completely reliable. A2, completely reliable information, probably true. B1, usually reliable source, information confirmed. B2, usually reliable, information probably true, but needs validation. C1, fairly reliable source, information confirmed. C2, fairly reliable source, information needs validation. D to F, source is doubtful, unreliable, or reliability cannot be assessed. So, saan yun nilagay yung sinabi ni Princess Maui? Saan dito sa classification po na ito ng source of information? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 hanggang DF? Saan po? Kasi po ngayon, sir, napakarami na po mga impormasyon ng mga fake news.
Opo, sir. Sir, kung pwede na pong sumagot.
Go
sir.
ahead po. Go ahead.
Sir, yung una po namin ginawa, we tried to invite Princess Maui to shed light doon sa sinasabi nilang Romanov. Since hindi ho nag-appear si Princess Maui, wala ho kaming basis. So, classify muna namin ito na non-validated information. Naghanap kami sa open source. Yun nga, ang nakita namin, ang unang nagbigkas niyan, si Mayor Baste. So, medyo nakita namin, teka muna, parang baliktad yata ang sitwasyon. Kung kay Mayor Baste nagsimula ang Romanov, bakit dito ito yung tinatanong ni Princess Maui sa Vice Presidente? So, medyo it doesn't make sense, sir. Wala kaming na-validate since hindi nag-appear si Princess Maui. So, we classify the information as unvalidated
So,
information.
what you did, nung hindi mo ma-confirm yung kay Princess Maui information, naghanap ka ng
Opo.
counter source,
Yes, sir. Open source, sir.
open source, okay, to validate.
Yes, sir.
And what happened to that source?
Yeah, based doon sa video na yon, January, if I'm not mistaken. Yun nga, yung Maisog Rally, Your Honor, ang unang nagbanggit ng Romanov, si Mayor Baste, parang tinatakot niya yung presidente.
Okay,
Doon.
Mr. Witness, I'm running out of time. So, isa lang pong tanong ko. So, yung information po ni Princess Maui dun sa video, yung sinabi niya kay BP, hindi po reliable.
Hindi reliable insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The interventions of the Senator Judge are noted. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just a very quick question on this particular topic, and I will no
Gentleman
longer.
may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will no longer dwell on the Operation Romanov, despite the fact that thank you to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo who told me that about the dates, and I will not even mention or tackle the conditional threat. But I was looking at this NBI letter dated 2nd of December 2024, marked as Annex I. This is prosecution's P4-5 exhibit. Responded Duterte to appear in connection with the investigation of the alleged grave threats. Mr. Witness, nakasaad din po dito sa sulat na iniimbestigahan ng NBI yung mga banta laban sa kanya at makakatulong po dito ang kanyang pagharap sa investigation. Tama po ba ito, Atty.
Yes po, Your Honor. Tama po yan.
Dahil po hindi personal na pumunta ang ating Vice Presidente, ano po yung naging epekto nito sa investigasyon ninyo sa mga banta laban sa kanyang buhay? Gusto ko lang malaman, ipinagpatuloy nyo po ba ang investigasyon ng NBI? What is now the status of this investigation?
Yes, sir. Una, since yung second letter ng Vice President through her lawyer, may sinasabi doon na may threat sa life 6 months ago pa. So nung trinay naming i-check yun, Your Honor, ang nakita lang naming relevant information as to the security, yung pagbabawas ho ng 75 PNP personnel from BPSPG, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think transfer ho yata yung mga personnel na yan sa Manila. And then when we check the record, yun nga, merong pang, based on the COA record, merong pang 335 more or less if I'm not mistaken, na security personnel ang Vice Presidente. So other than those facts, wala ho kaming makitang relevant na security issue dahil yun nga, hindi naman nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente, hindi naman sila nagbigay ng any information na pwede namin pagsimulan po.
So,
But
so after that, you did not pursue anymore the investigation on the threats against the Vice President?
Ang alam ko, ang aming intelligence service ay may monitoring na ginagawa from time to time.
I ask this question, Mr. Witness, and for the our people. Kasi ang hindi na po yung Operation Romanov, hindi na po itong conditional threat. Kung hindi, ito ba ay nabigyan ng accorded the same level of attention dun sa mga threats na inyong nakukuha gaya ng binabanggit natin na threat di umano ng ating Vice Presidente? Kasi ang tanong, hindi rin naman po nagpunta sa inyo ang Pangulo o ang Speaker of the House, and yet you pursued your investigation. So in that way, paano niyo may explain ito, Attorney Lotok,
Yes.
na ginawa niyo talaga yung lahat ng inyong magagawa para imbestigahan din yung threat laban sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Opo, Your Honor. Magkaiba po siya. Yung grave threats na inatter ng Vice President against the President, apparent po siya, Your Honor. Nakita po namin. Nasa video, in-authenticate namin yung video, nag-testify yung mga may personal knowledge na in fact sinabi niya yon. So, malinaw ho na nag-exist yung utterances na yon that qualifies the crime of grave threats. Dito ho, sa threat ng Vice Presidente, wala ho kaming ganong same na information na nakuha. Wala kaming apparent na mayroong threat against the life ng Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, hindi sila nagbigay ng specific information, hindi ho nagpakita ang Vice Presidente para mag-shed light doon sa investigation namin. So hindi ho namin siya makita na parehas. Magkaiba po yun. Ang sa Presidente, apparent siya. So definitely under the law, ang NBI can motu proprio undertake an investigation. Dito sa Vice Presidente, allegation siya, wala kaming ma-validate na information. So hindi ho pa magti-trigger yung investigation doon. But I am sure, insofar as the intelligence service of the NBI is concerned, continuous ho yung monitoring yan at naghahanap po sila ng mga lead para masolidify yung information na yan.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I know the law. Presidente, Vice Presidente, Speaker, pwede niyong tignan at imbestigahan yan. But I feel na importanteng maipakita natin sa taong bayan that same level of attention ang ibinigay po natin. At we also, if we need to walk the extra mile of investigating, we have to do it in the name of fairness. So yun lang po yung nakita ko, and siguro yung sinasabi nyo nga po, hindi sumapat yung inyong mga nakalap na mga impormasyon, whether the information ay kulang or hindi kayo nagkaroon ng access sa mga information na to, kaya po hindi nagtuloy.
Opo, Your Honor. That is insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
po.
Mr.
What
President.
is the pleasure of Senator Judge Lacson? Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva.
I just want to pursue the point raised by Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo and the
The
others.
gentleman may proceed and he has 2 minutes.
I don't know about the other senator judges, pero until today, when Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo clarified
Opo.
na yung palang Oplan Romanov, a threat against the first family.
Yes, sir.
Ang impression ko since last week, nung pag-uusapan natin yung Oplan Romanov, a threat ito against the Vice President. And since sabi nyo, part ng investigation ninyo, open source, di ba?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Yung bang speech ni Mayor Baste Duterte sa Maisog, naging part pa ng open source nyo yun?
Part ng
In this particular investigation that you conducted?
hindi po siya nag-form part as
So kulang yung
kasama
inyong
sa-
open source information.
Hindi po kami nakafocus sa Romanov, Your
Okay.
Honor. Okay.
Was it also your impression na yung threat do sa Romanov was directed against BP Sara until today?
I don't
Please be honest.
yeah,
Don't be ashamed. No?
I don't think so, Your Honor, kasi unang-una ang context ng Operation Romanov against the first family.
I know.
So it definitely against the president and his family, Your Honor. Ngayon nung tinanong ho siya ni Princess Maui, doon nga kami nagtaka. Anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov? Anong context niya ng Romanov? Bakit against sa Vice President? Hindi naman sila yung first family. So, yun yung reason po, Your Honor, kung bakit we try to invite Princess Maui na shed us some light para makita namin ano bang ibig mong sabihin doon. Ano ba yung pwede naming i-validate na information para makapag-case build up kami pag meron.
Yes. So bakit hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa threat against the life of the President and the First Lady? Kasi family yung binabanggit ni Mayor Basten, di ba? Hindi kasama yung si Speaker Romualdez, hindi kasama yung Chief Justice,
Opo.
di ba?
Yes, sir.
Pero threat against the family, the first family,
Yes, sir.
as mentioned by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So ang sabi mo, hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa inyong investigation report or sa affidavit of investigation, yung open source ng maisog.
Hindi po siya
Speech.
nakasama. sir.
Bakit hindi napasama? Open source din yun eh. That could reinforce yung inyong theory o yung conclusion nyo na meron talagang serious threat against
The first family.
the President and the others. Bakit hindi nyo ginawang part do sa affidavit of investigation unless pareho tayo na impression na until today, ang alam natin sa Romanov, threat against BP Sara. Yun ang impression ko since last week.
Yun ho
By the
yung
way.
yun po yung impression namin nung hindi pa namin nakikita
That's
sa
exactly
open
my
source.
question, Attorney Lotok. So ngayon nyo rin lang na-realize na yung palang Oplan Romanov, threat pala sa First Family.
First family. Opo, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
Noted, entered into the records. I would have
Presiding
recognized
Officer.
Senator Go first, but since you're there already, Senator Judge
Yeah.
Alan
It's
Cayetano.
just a
You may proceed, sir.
manifestation and point of information. As Senator Judge Lacson said, no, it's for each judge to appreciate. But let me put context, no. I'm not close to VP Sara. I'm not close to Mayor Baste. Ang kasama ko sa Congress si former Deputy Speaker Pulong. But in the last 4 years, I think I've seen him twice or thrice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But my reading nung sinabi ni Mayor Baste is pag natulog ka sa gabi, remember the Romanovs. So we have to look at our history. The Romanovs were evicted via a revolution. 'Di ba? So Mayor Baste was doing a parallel ng 1986 na paalis yung mga Marcoses via revolution. But unlike the Romanovs, the Marcoses were given asylum or whatever you call it in Hawaii, and over time, nakabalik until the president became president. Ang Romanovs, inubos sila para nga hindi makabalik. Now, if Mayor Baste was making Romanovs uubusin kay Marcos, di dapat na-offend si Senator Judge Amy Marcos because she's a Marcos, no? So, secondly, if he made that threat, so if he was saying, may Oplan mo, Romanov or Maro-Romanov kayo, I'm sure the PNP or the Presidential Security Command, the National Council, would have filed a case against Baste. So I just want, it's fair that you mentioned him, it's fair sa investigation mo, but I don't think we should draw a conclusion here that Mayor Baste was threatening the first family because remember, there's a thin line between a warning and a threat. So pag sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon, witness, pareho tayong abogado, kompanyero, pareho tayong taga-Ateneo, mag-ingat ka sa sasabihin mo. That could be a fair warning. That could be not a threat, di ba? But kapag may threat talaga na pinarating ko sa iyo, pag hindi ko gusto ano mo, kakasuhan kita, that could be a illegal threat, di ba? Pero pwedeng warning. So I just want that on the record, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, because everyone's watching, and in the same manner, we have to be fair to the first family. We have to be fair also to Mayor Baste and to the Dutertes, that rather than draw a conclusion that there was an actual. So the Council for Defense was making a distinction, mentioning Romanov and Oplan Romanov are two different things. It may be the same, it may be different thing. For all we know, narinig ni Mayor Baste na sila Romanov, kaya binanggit niya pabalik. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I haven't discussed it with the few senators na kaibigan ko dito. So let's just be circumspect and careful from making conclusions. But as far as it is relevant, Mr. Presiding Officer, I appreciate the answer of the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Senator Go, thereafter Senator Padilla. Senator Go, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Balik muna tayo dito sa ating bayan. Masyado lang malayo, inaabot natin. To our Mr. Witness, some questions lang po, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nabanggit nyo kahapon na 20 years na ho kayo sa NBI.
12 years, Your Honor.
Be specific, anong year po?
2014, Your Honor. Nagsimula po ako from the NBI Academy.
2014?
2014. 12 years na po, Your Honor.
Hindi 20 years.
Hindi 20 years, Your Honor. 12, Your Honor.
12 years. So, kailan ho kayo nag-head ng cybercrime?
February 2023, Your Honor.
February of 2023. Maupay na adlaw pala.
Maupay po nga. Adlaw
Attorney.
gyapon, sir.
And to our prosecutor.
May hapon, sir. May hapon.
Maupay na kulop.
Maupay man.
Kailan ho kayo naging RD?
July 2025, sir.
July 2025. So, naging cybercrime head kayo February of 2023.
3, sir.
Before that, saan ho kayo na-assign?
Chief ng Digital Forensics, sir, 2022.
2020. Anyway. So, meron ho bang nag-recommend sa inyo or wala na? Nag-apply lang kayo? O sino
Nang ano po, sir?
Naging head kayo ng cybercrime?
As Chief of the Digital Forensics, I was designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos. Then as Chief of the Cybercrime Division, I was also designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos. Sir.
2016 to 2022, saan ho kayo na-assign?
2016, I think anti-organized crime and transnational crime.
Up to 2020.
AOTCD yun, Your Honor. Then 2018 nasa cybercrime division na po.
So hindi po kayo head doon?
Hindi pa, as an investigation agent po noong 2018, sir.
Anyway, nabanggit niyo po kanina about sworn affidavit. And then nabanggit niyo about journalists, no, na part nung press conference. Tama ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Marami sila, di ba? Marami
Opo.
nabanggit sa
Yes, Your
mga
Honor.
nakarang araw, including last week, di ba? Bakit ho ba bakit po hindi kinuha ang sariling sworn affidavit ng mga journalists na personal na naroon po sa press conference? Sa halip ay affidavits po ng agents na naglalaman po ng inyong summary ng mga sinabi po ninyo. Bakit hindi nyo pinursige yung mga affidavits ng mga nandoon sa...
Yes, Your Honor. Nung nag-appear po yung mga media personalities na nag-participate ng online press conference at the November 23, 2024, may kasama ho silang lawyer, and then we want to them to execute an affidavit. Ang advice sa kanila ng lawyer, hindi na raw. Pwede lang sila mag-participate ng interview. Pwede sila mag-sign sa minutes at meeting. So hindi na po namin pinilit.
So wala hong journalists or mga vloggers na kasama po doon sa sworn affidavit? Wala ho. Sa inyo lang, purely puro po ito sa
NBI,
galing
sir.
sa NBI lang po.
Yes, sir. Kasi ayaw po ng lawyer nila na mag-execute sila ng affidavit.
Okay.
Pero may kasama po silang lawyer doon, sir.
Yung mga detalye pong nakasaad sa inyong affidavit tungkol sa naganap na press conference, galing ho ba ito sa personal knowledge ng mga agents o batay po sa sinabi ng mga journalists na nakausap po ng agents pagkatapos?
Yes, Your Honor. Q&A yung mode nung interview at nag-reflect ho yan doon sa minutes of meeting, and then nag-execute ng affidavit yung nag-interview na agent. So magkasama ho yung mga dokumento na yun, sir.
Mako-consider mo ba ito na second-hand account? Paano nyo masigurong naging actual ho yung pag-interpret ninyo sa mga sinabi?
Ano pong interpret, sir?
I mean, kung batay po ito sa second-hand account, paano nyo masisiguro na sakto, walang naidagdag, o hindi na misinterpret sa pagitan ng aktual na sinabi ng mga journalists at mga nakasulat sa inyong affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why inauthenticate namin yung video mula simula hanggang sa matapos. para hindi kami mawala sa tunay na nangyari. That's the reason why transcribe din ng ating agent on case kung ano laman ng video, kung ano yung naging tanungan doon, para hindi ko kami mawala sa investigasyon namin. And in fact, Your Honor, when we try to establish whether or not nag-utter ba talaga ang Vice Presidente na may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay sa 3, na confirm namin ito nung November 26 video kasi ni-reiterate ng Vice Presidente, inadmit niya instead na sinabi niyang hindi ko sinabi yon. Sinabi niya nung November 26 na video na indeed may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay doon sa 3. So, nabuo yung aming investigation na ang tawag po namin doon is admission against interest doon po sa ginawa ni Vice President during the November 26, 2024, sir.
Anyway, last question na lang po on sedition. No? How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Ano po yung, sorry.
On
sir.
sedition charges, di ba?
Yes, sir.
How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Well, in inciting to sedition, Your Honor, specifically in the case of People versus Nabong, it is not necessary na magkaroon ng actual sedition. The law also penalizes if the seditious words would encourage people to do illegal acts or to overthrow government. In other words, if the speeches would stir up the people to go against the government, if the speeches would disturb the peace of the community, if the speeches would undermine public order and public security, hindi ho necessary na magkaroon ng actual na sedition. That's under the
Meron
law,
ho
sir.
bang nagawa yung Vice Presidente na gaya ng sinasabi niyo ngayon?
Nagawa pong inciting to sedition, sir?
Mag,
Based sa findings namin, sir, yes. Based po sa findings namin. Ganito po ang nangyari. Kinumpare po namin based on the content and context of the utterances made by the Vice President in November 23, 2024, the utterances made by the Vice President in October 18, 2024, then the utterances made by the Vice President in 26 November 2024, and other facts and circumstances. Nung trinay po namin i-compare siya, may nakita ho kami ng mga utterances that would stir up the people against the government. For example, Your Honor, noong October 18, ang sabi ng Vice Presidente, walang number 1 ang Pilipinas na to, hanggang number 2 lang to para sa akin. Wala itong number 1. Kinumpara ho namin noong November 23, ang sabi doon sa November 23, I do not recognize anybody above me. It's a reiteration dun sa kanyang sinabi. That's number 1, Your Honor. Then number 2, may sinabi siya noong October 18 na anong magagawa ko, hindi marunong maging presidente yung nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yon? And then, November 23, kinumpara namin yon. Ang sabi niya doon, this country will go to hell because the person na nakaupo is hindi marunong maging presidente and who is a liar. So nakita namin yung pattern saka consistent na utterances. Then tinignan namin yung pangatlong line, ang sabi niya doon, alam ko si BBM may 5 impeachable offense, pero papasa ba dyan sa House? Siyempre hindi. Then pagdating sa November 23, sinabi naman niya doon na the President is lying through his teeth para makuha lang niya yung boto ng mga tao. Tapos minura niya sila, PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos, and former Speaker of the House. So, tiningnan namin, sino ba yung nagsasalita? Kung ang nagsasalita, Your Honor, is yung ikalawa sa pinakamataas na posisyon in public at yun yung kanyang utterances, definitely, Your Honor, there is a tendency to stir up the people against lawful government.
Kindly wind up,
Against the
Senator
government.
Go.
No more question, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you,
Salamat
Senator
po.
Judge
Salamat.
Go. Senator Judge Padilla intimated to the presiding officer that he will defer his questions to a later time. Counsel, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Just a manifestation, Your Honor, in relation to the the query or the manifestation of Senator Judge Villanueva?
In relation to the
Mhm.
query of
No,
Senator-
his manifestation, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Proceed unless he asked you a question to save in the court's time. Please proceed with your cross-examination.
All right, I'll just transform it into a question. You were
Yes,
asked
you
about
can.
that December 2, 2024 letter, correct?
December 2, yes, sir.
Oo. That is the letter where you gave a schedule for the Vice President to attend, correct?
Yeah, signed by our assistant
All right,
director.
but
sir.
the schedule that you gave was November 11, 2024 at 10 a.m. and then you gave the address. So in other words,
Sinabi ko na ho yan kahapon, typographical
okay,
error yun, sir.
my question naman is this if tama yung schedule sana at nakapunta si VP Sara, would it have affected your investigation?
Your Honor, even up till now, ready ho kaming tanggapin kung anumang information na threat against the life ng presidente, continuous ng vice presidente, continuous po yun. In fact, sabi ko nga kanina, yung intelligence service namin is may ginagawang monitoring from time to time dun sa threat to life against the vice president, president, etc.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Now, let me show you a portion of the interview of Dempsey Reyes of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Please direct your attention to paragraph 13 of the minutes of the meeting. This is also the transcription made by Agent Kalilong. Page 173 of
Pwede na ba?
Annex G9 as well. So, here, it says, may press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya lang, gusto daw siyang patayin daw according to her ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. So, considering that this is part of the minutes of the meetings, this is also part of the NBI's own records, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, my question is this. Did you issue a subpoena against Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Did you issue a subpoena? Kay Speaker Romualdez, sir?
Yes.
Kasi, ba't ako mag-issue ng subpoena? Wala pa kaming sufficient na...
So what's you did not issue?
Hindi kami nag-issue,
All right.
sir.
So in other words, for VP Sara, you issued not just one but two subpoenas. But
Because-
for the former speaker, you did not issue a subpoena. That's just a question.
There is an apparent commission of the crime for grave threats and inciting to sedition, sir.
I see. So for this particular portion, you just turned a blind eye and did not issue.
Well,
Anyway,
there is no
my-
validated
All right.
information
Answer,
on
Your
that,
Honor.
sir.
Let
Okay.
the witness answer. There was a question.
yeah, but based on
Counsel, kindly don't argue with the witness.
your testimony yesterday, you said that you have a system of evaluating factors, correct? My question to you is, based on that system, does Martin Romualdez have the capacity to execute a death threat, for example?
We haven't established any apparent crime committed by the former speaker, Your Honor. So hindi kami nag-delve dyan sa issue na yan.
Yeah, at any rate, this minutes of the meeting, which you all confirmed that is part of the NBI's own record, isn't this information regarding the death threat against VP Sara?
Well, ang sabi po dyan, if I may read my press con, kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, sabi lang niya, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker, that was during a press conference the day before. Precisely, Your Honor, the reason why we issued a letter noong November 22 is to ask the Vice President kung ano ho yung facts and circumstances dyan sa issue na yan. But since hindi ho nag-appear ang Vice Presidente, wala ho talaga kaming mapagsimulan. Wala kaming validated information.
But you issued the subpoena against Dempsey Reyes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero ang tinanong nyo kay Dempsey Reyes, yung case lang against VP Sara. Hindi niya siya tinanong ng threats to her, correct?
Well, unang-una, ang ini-establish namin, ang focus ng investigation namin, the reason why we subpoena the late Dempsey Reyes is whether or not nag-utter ba yung Vice President doon sa statement niya na nag-contract na siya ng tao para patayin si BBM, si Lisa Marcos,
Okay,
at si former
that's
Speaker.
okay.
Sir, yun po yung focus ng investigation namin.
So despite that track, you still maintain that this part of the investigation, you did not have bias.
We don't have bias.
Argumentative,
All right,
Your Honor.
I'll move on.
Argumentative.
I'll move on.
The-
Let's go back to the investigation that you did against VP Sara. So you mentioned yesterday that The offended parties in this case, if at all, are BBM, FL, and the former speaker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you subpoena any of them?
No, sir.
Did they appear before the NBI?
No, sir.
Nakausap nyo ba sila ng personal?
No, sir.
And yet, you concluded that they were victims of grave threats, correct?
Based on the evidence we've gathered, yes, sir.
So without any personal correspondences with them, you came to that conclusion,
The evidence is clear, sir.
according to you.
Oh, objection, Your Honor. I move that, oh, wait.
Counsel-
We cannot let
counsel-
this
No,
pass.
that's part
I
of...
move, Your Honor, that the defense counsel, with all due respect, be admonished from stating those unprofessional remarks. We are in front of national TV.
No, that's...
That is his answer. If you are not satisfied with his answer, please don't lay any value to what the witness answered. Your Honor, may I move that the
This is a
counsel...
reminder. This is a reminder for counsel for both parties. Kindly avoid side remarks. Henceforth, the presiding officer will have it stricken off the record. And whatever question you pose and afterwards withdraw will likewise be stricken off from the record. So as to avoid any attempts at showmanship, usually seen on TV, yes, but will not be tolerated by this impeachment court. Counsels are so reminded.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
To
Counsel for the
clarify,
respondent.
Mr. Witness, yung NBI subpoena against VP Sara that you issued was her being a respondent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero as a complainant, you did not issue.
We issued a letter, sir, December
No.
2.
As the complainant na siya yung subject naman ng threats, walang subpoena as to that effect.
Walang subpoena, sir.
So in other words, hindi talaga siya naka-explain kasi what you sent out was a letter and not a subpoena.
Yung letter is to inform the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung threat against the life niya. So therefore, kailangan namin yung presence niya or any information na pwedeng makatulong sa investigation.
Yun na nga, pero hindi niya siya sinenda ng subpoena. Isn't it that in a regular case, the prosecutor sends out a subpoena both to the complainant and to the respondent?
With the prosecutor, sir?
Yes. You're a lawyer, you know this.
What
When
do
you
you
file
mean,
a
sir?
case before the prosecutor's office, the handling prosecutor issues out sa subpoena sa parehong parties.
Ang
Tama?
alam ko, during the case concern, I think nag-appear yata ang Vice Presidente sa DOJ. Yan,
Alright.
doon ako na-inform. sir.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Let's talk about the reversal by the DOJ. Diba? There was a initial finding on February 5 and then it was eventually reversed. Now, would you agree with me that the rectifications that you made for the first affidavit of investigation were procedural deficiencies?
Procedural deficiencies.
Like the
No,
TSN,
it's part of the case build-up, Your Honor.
but what you added were TSNs, affidavits of your own agents, correct? Don't you consider that as...
Those were affidavits.
Yes, but don't you consider that those as procedural and not substantive?
Part of the evaluation and case build-up, yes, sir.
All right. But in effect, the substance of the case remained the same.
Walang nabago ho sa affidavit, sa una at sa pangalawa, parehas po yun.
Very good.
sir.
So in other words, wala kang no additional discussion on the merits of the case.
On the merits of the case, yung findings namin, hindi ho nabago
All
yun,
right.
sir.
Very good. So no additional witnesses were interviewed.
What do you mean, interviews?
Wala nang additional interviews. Kung ano yung sa first affidavit nyo, yun na rin yung sa second affidavit. Wala nang additional interviewees.
Kung I think ang naalala ko 6 ho na media personalities ang na-interview namin at yun ho yung nag-reflect sa affidavit. At the same time, we tried to issue subpoena sa I think head ng ABS-CBN.
I understand that, but be more responsive.
Your Honor, if I may, the witness is still in the process of answering
Yeah,
his
but
the
Your Honor,
question
but the
and
answer is not
Exactly.
responsive. Eh. My question is very
Let him
simple.
finish first, with all due respect, Your Honor.
With the permission of the counsel for the parties. Attorney Latok, the question was, sa pagitan ng una at pangalawang sinubmit ninyo sa DOJ, may mga testigo ba kayong dinagdag sa pangalawa niyong submission sa DOJ? O pareho din po yung mga testigo, nilakip lang yung mga affidavit na hindi na ilakip dun sa unang pag-submit?
Yeah, insofar as I'm concerned, Your Honor, parehas lang po.
All
right.
You may proceed, counsel.
But we will never know that for sure because you never released your first affidavit of investigation, correct?
Well, I think it's in the DOJ. Ang binigay sa amin yung certification kung ano yung mga requirements na dapat na may comply.
Yeah, but what you attach, when you received the subpoena from the House Committee on Justice, which was used as the basis for the articles of impeachment, the first affidavit of investigation was never included, correct?
Yung nag-submit ho dyan, Your Honor, sila Agent Kalilong, wala akong idea
Hindi
dun
joke
sa...
lang. All right, that's okay.
person.
So I have a question about the affidavit of investigation. Okay, an affidavit, or I'll just be more specific. Your second affidavit of investigation was subscribed and sworn to, correct?
Yes, sir.
On February 10, 2025.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before who?
Can I check, sir?
Sure.
Witness may consult
Thank
the
you,
document before him.
Your Honor.
Counsel for the parties may assist him.
Your Honor, we'll just confront him with our own.
Subscribe and sworn to before Assistant Director Glenn A. Ricarte. Sir.
All right. So do you remember that you subscribed along with the other agents before General Ricarte now?
Yes, sir. May signature kami rito.
All right. And you did this because the first affidavit of investigation cannot be altered anymore.
What do you mean, sir?
An affidavit, as you know, you are a lawyer. Once an affidavit is subscribed and sworn to, it is a complete document already.
Yeah.
Okay? Meaning, even if you take out one page or you add an annex, you already alter the meaning of that document. Will you agree with me?
Your Honor, the process is legal evaluation by the prosecutor and case build-up. So pag nakita ho ng
No,
prosecution...
Your Honor, I'm just
na-
talking about the nature of the affidavit. I'm not
Attorney
talking
Lato,
about...
kindly answer the question. It's a general question pertaining to an affidavit in general, not this particular one.
Ano yung question, sir?
Okay, an affidavit, once you subscribe and swear to it, that already becomes a, if I may use the term, untouchable affidavit in such that you cannot take out one page, you cannot alter one paragraph, you cannot add annex.
Well, I think kung sinabmit niya na ho yan officially sa halimbawa sa korte, hindi na ho pwede yan. Pero yung process ho namin, yung evaluation tsaka case build-up, nag-uusap ho ang prosecutor tsaka yung investigator. So sinasabi ng pros, pag may kulang ka, ito. So itong unang affidavit, since may kulang sa mga attachment, ayusin nyo, baguhin nyo, i-comply nyo yung mga requirements. Since yung affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magko-comply pa lang kami, anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
Wait. In other words, when you
evaluation.
subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents or pages to it?
Ang sabi ko po, sir, ang sabi ng DOJ, may kulang kayong affidavit of authentication, may kulang kayong TSN. Yun ho yung inattach namin doon sa
Precisely.
affidavit.
So in other words, you added documents to your January 30, 2025 affidavit?
Attachment, sir. Attachment.
So you admit that you added attachments to it?
Part of compliance, doon sa case build-up, at doon sa evaluation na requirement
All right,
ng
but
Department
Mr.
of
Witness,
Justice.
isn't it
Your
that...
Honor, again, can I respectfully request
Your Honor,
the presiding
may I
officer?
just be allowed to proceed, Your
let
Honor?
me be allowed. Can I be
Counsel for the
allowed?
respondent, let the counsel for the prosecutors
Honor,
finish with this observation or objection.
Can I make a respectful request to the defense to let the witness finish the answer before they propound the next question, Your Honor, please? For orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please.
Point well taken. Counsel, please proceed accordingly. And may I also remind the witness, Attorney Latok, kindly answer yes or no instead of yeah and nah.
Yes, sir. Sorry po.
So that it's
Your
clearer
Honor.
for our records.
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
proceed, counsel for the respondent.
So you admit that after you subscribe and swear to that January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents to it so that it will comply with the requirements of the DOJ. Is that what you're saying?
Attachment based on the requirement of the DOJ, sir.
All right, thank
Yun
you
ang
for that
nilagay namin.
admission. Just one last point on this. Can we flash affidavit of investigation? Can we flash page 1? This is page 13, Your Honor, of the AOI's Annex G9 for the benefit or for the guidance of this honorable court. The one that was flashed earlier.
Tech is instructed to do so.
All right, so this is the first page of the affidavit of investigation. Will you agree with me that this was not received by this particular document as is was not received by the DOJ?
I don't have personal knowledge. Ang inutusan ko po dyan, yung executive officers and agent on case na makipag-communicate sa Department of Justice.
But you are a co-signer of this, correct?
Yeah, insofar as the content of the affidavit.
All right. And so you mean to say that you didn't cause the filing of this case with the DOJ?
Inutusan ko po ang executive officers at si Agent
All right,
Kililong
but
na
you-
sila mag-process po na dalhin yung referral na yan sa Department of Justice, sir.
At any rate, you're smart enough
Okay na
to
po, ma'am.
peruse the first page and you can see that there's no received stamp appearing there too, correct?
Received from DOJ o by DOJ, sir?
By DOJ.
Again, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung nag-process niyan, si executive officer nga namin.
Yeah, but
at si
based
Agent
on
Kililong.
only-
Again, the witness still in the process of answering the question.
Because-
Counsel, take it easy. Let the witness complete his answer.
Okay, Your Honor. But based as it appears only, as it appears on this document, this is part of the records and also uploaded in the Senate website already last July 12 so that the public can peruse. Annex GGG, this is page 13. Based on this document and observation, can you notice any received stamp on this document?
Based on that document, wala hong
All right.
naka-stamped or received.
Precisely my
based on that.
point that was attached. If this was really received by the DOJ, there should have been an IDF, right, or a transmittal letter attached to this.
Again, yung makakasagot po dyan, yung executive officers, Agent Kililong, and the prosecution, sir, kasi sila ang nag-uusap dyan. Sila ang nagdala ng dokumento na yan.
All right, I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano?
Mr. President, I wanted to take the floor before the defense went to another point, so I wouldn't interrupt his train of thought.
The lady has
also.
2 minutes and may proceed when she's ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is actually addressed to both counsels and to the witness.
Yes, ma'am.
So the witness also happens to be a lawyer. Apat na abogado po tayo mag-uusap dito. Pero ang pakiusap ko, speak in layman's term because we want the public to understand. Very simple question. I want to understand your appreciation of the crime of grave threats. Okay? It sounds like a simple question, but when I look at the elements, so explain ko din sa mga nakikinig. Pag tinignan natin ang definition ng crime, nandiyan yung elements. So the prosecution must always prove yung elements of the crime. Ang question ko ay, in your appreciation, dapat ba na ang supposed victim nakaramdam talaga siya ng threats? Or is it enough that the general public considers the statement threatening? Okay, so is it personal or is it a general sentiment? Now, before I proceed, gusto ko magbigay ng example para maintindihan ng mga kababayan natin. Kung magkapit-bahay, nagkapikunan dun sa bakod, tapos sabi nung isa, bubulohin ko to. Is that a grave threat? Second example, dalawang boksingero, nagkainitan, susuntukin kita. This is among two professional boxers. Is that a grave threat? Third example, police. Sabi, bubunutan ko to ng baril. Is that a grave threat? Maybe it's just offensive. Dahil sa professional, you shouldn't say that to a fellow police. And my fourth example is a senator. Pag sinabi niyang bibitbiting kita, kekwelyuhan kita, palalayasan kita, is that a grave threat? I'll add some details. If that is supposedly addressed to a fellow senator, and she is a female senator like me, na kahit na hindi naman isa hong kilalang runner, marathoner, but a non-violent person, is that a grave threat? Well, I'll just tell you my personal opinion and then I'll tell you now. I felt that was a grave threat. So may I ask the counsel and the witness to now answer the question? Thank you.
If you may, Your Honor, please, yung prosecution po.
Senator Judge Pia, who do you want to answer first?
Good
In the
question.
order that you
Pag-iisipan ko
prefer.
ng matagal yan, Mr. President. I give you the decision on that one, Mr. President. Siguro prosecution kasi
Yes po.
sila naman ang kailangan mag-prove ng case nila. And then the witness and then the defense counsel.
Again, an admonition from the chair without stating conclusions of fact and law that again is reserved for the impeachment court. You may state your opinions with respect to the elements of the
Definitely.
crime of grave threats specifically identified
Yes.
by the senator judge.
And if I may, presiding officer, feel free to interrupt them if you feel that they have crossed the line, as I will. That's why I just want, I repeat my question, I want to understand your appreciation of the crime. You may, Mr. President, will we allow them to cite jurisprudence? I leave it up to you. I just
Opo.
want to understand the appreciation kasi.
Opo.
What do you think?
Doon sa particular pong katanungang yon ni Senator Judge Pia Cayetano na dapat ba may takot na naramdaman, correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Judge Pia,
Yes.
yung taong tinatakot o subject matter ng grave threats o pampublikong pagtanggap pa na nakakatakot yung mga sinabi niya laban dun sa taong tinatakot niya.
Siguro a simple yes or no with a very short explanation would
Opo.
suffice, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Attorney Ligutan, you have 2
Maraming
minutes,
salamat,
please.
Senator Pia Cayetano. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon. Yung sagot sa tanong na iyan, yung sagot po ng prosecution, hindi po galing sa opinion ng aking mga kasama. Ito po ay isang decision. No less than the Supreme Court of the Philippines. It just so happened, Your Honors, as an answer po sa tanong ni Senator Pia Cayetano, may dalawang kaso na po yung Supreme Court. Yung isa is Paera versus People. Yung GR number, siguro yung mga law students, no? Mga law students. GR number 181626, May 30, 2011. The title is Paera versus People. Sinabi ng Supreme Court doon, wala pong batas na nagre-require na may private complainant. Ibig sabihin, hindi po required na yung biktima mag-execute ng affidavit upang yung akusado po pwedeng ma-found guilty ng grave threat. Paera versus People. But more than that, Your Honor, please, may isang kaso pa. No less than the Supreme Court in the Philippines. Sinabi doon, hindi po kailangan na yung recipient mismo nakaramdam ng takot or that sineryoso yung pagbabanta. Your Honor, to repeat, etong sinabi ng Supreme Court, all that needs to be proven is that they were intended by the accused to have that effects. Yung sagot sa tanong, hindi po galing sa prosecution, hindi po opinion, galing mismo sa Supreme Court of the Philippines, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Mr. President, can we now ask
If I may add, Senator Judge Pia, if I remember my memory aid correctly, there are only certain private crimes that need a private complainant. And most of these are personal crimes, such as concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. although these crimes are all entitled people of the Philippines versus the accused, without a private complainant, these crimes cannot be filed by the prosecutor in court without the cooperation or affidavit of the private complainant. Counsel for respondent will please reply to the query of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano. You also have 2 minutes, sir.
All right. I will try to avoid making conclusions of fact and law, Your Honor, but I will answer in light of the facts of this case and leave it up to the discretion of this honorable court.
Please, sir, you may proceed.
It is our position that the statements made by the Vice President were not threats in the first place. That's why we were categorizing it as response, a mere response to a Q&A, number one. Number two, it was never aimed directly at BBM, FL, and the former speaker. In other words, had they not watched the video, for example, they wouldn't have known about it. So in other words, Your Honor, there was no threats to begin with. And so even the discussion on the elements is not really applicable insofar as determining the innocence or guilt of the Vice President. That is basically our position. That is one more thing. And practically, we maintain this position all throughout our pleadings. We never referred to that statement as threats. We always say that if at all, they were alleged threats. But we referred to the statements of the Vice President as statements, as responses. And even in my speech, that's what I said. It was a response, Your Honor. That would be all, Your Honor.
Noted.
you.
Attorney Lotop, your response to Senator Judge Pia's question based on your investigation. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. In establishing, Your Honor, whether or not the crime of grave threat exists, we follow the rule. First, whether there is an actus reus, and then second, whether there is a mens rea. So actus reus, Your Honor, means whether the offender in fact uttered the threatening remarks. We were able to establish that. That's why in-authenticate po ng NBI yung video na kung saan nandoon yung utterances. The test of mens rea, Your Honor, what we did, we interpret the utterances objectively and in the light of the circumstances in which they were uttered, in the manner in which those utterances were spoken, the person to whom they were addressed, the utterances were addressed, the relationship between the parties, meaning the offender and the recipients, and then the reactions of the recipients, whether they treat the utterances serious or real. But again, I would agree with what Attorney Ligutan said. In fact, ang basis po namin dyan, yung Garma versus People. Ang isa ho doon sa sinabi ng Garma versus People, hindi ho kailangan na ma-intimidate o itrato ng recipient na seryoso yung threat na yan. Ang sufficient na maipakita lang na yun yung intensyon ng offender, na ma-intimidate at i-treat na seryoso yung utterances or threatening remarks na ginawa niya. Yun po yung naging basihan po namin, Your Honor.
I hope that satisfies Senator Judge Pia Cayetano.
It actually does, but if I still have time, I have a follow-up question for all. Do I? Well, anyway, everyone went over time, so since my bell hasn't
No, you
rung-
don't, but you can ask your final question, Madam.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up. Siguro sa witness na lang. You mentioned the word threat, no? So can you just elaborate on that? What to you would be the difference between a threat and a sorry, I don't know if you uttered the word that I want to ask you now, no? But you referred to threat, of course. What would be the difference between a mere warning and a threat?
I mean, warning and a threat, sir, ma'am.
At what point does a warning become a threat?
Well, Your Honor, if I'm going to based on our investigation, kung i-apply ko ho yung
Hindi na.
yung
You don't have to. Just asking you your legal opinion. You're a lawyer. He may answer. Is it not correct, Mr. President?
I think
If he knows.
just in my own opinion, although warning is maybe there is a what we call an event-based condition. Pwedeng ganon na pag inulit mo itong gagawin ko sa'yo. Pwede hong warning yon.
Di ba ganun din yung threat?
Yung threat, Your Honor, pag ang threat is with a condition, pwede ho siyang mag-fall ng ganon. Pag sinabi ng threat is, pag ginawa mo to, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo. Papatayin kita. Papatayin ko yung pamilya mo. Papatayin ko yung ganyan. So para siyang nag-overlap, depende sa appreciation for us ng investigator, Your Honor. But insofar as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, what we did is we established the elements of the grave threats based on the surrounding facts and circumstances, and then we conclude that indeed nag-violate ho ang ating Vice Presidente.
Attorney Lutok, warning in Filipino is babala.
Yes, opo.
Threat in Filipino is banta.
Yes,
Opo ba?
opo.
Kaya di ba, babala, bawal magtapon ng basura dito. Warning.
Pwede po yun, sir.
Di ba? Ang tanong ni Senator Pia, kailan nagiging banta yon?
Well, depende sa konteksto siguro, Your Honor. May warning din po kasi na I warned you. Sasabi ko, pag inulit mo to, ito nang mangyayari sa'yo. May konteksto ho na ganun, Your Honor. Na somehow nag-overlap siya doon sa elements ng grave threats na conditional na sinabi na pag ito ang nangyari, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo. So, depende ho sa konteksto, Your Honor.
So depende sa konteksto, sa delivery, sa taas ng boses, gaano kagalit, may kapasidad,
Yes po.
maraming bagay.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Senator Judge Pia?
Yeah, so in other words,
Your witness.
it depends on the circumstances surrounding the incident or at the time that
Yes,
the
yes, ma'am.
utterance was made.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so laging contextual. Okay, maraming salamat sa lahat. I just want to emphasize na Mr. Presiding Officer, I posted my question to each of the councils and the witness precisely so that tayo masabihan na may bias, isa lang yung binibigyan natin ng opportunity to explain their side. I really genuinely just wanted to know what their appreciation of the definition of grave threats is. Thank you so much.
We thank the good Senator Judge for intervention. All of the comments are noted. Counsel for the respondent, proceed with your cross when you're ready.
All right. I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of the Articles of Impeachment against VP Sara deals with 3 accusations. Number 1, contracting for the assassination. Number 2, making grave threats. And number 3, actively inciting sedition. So on page 28 of your affidavit of investigation, which is page 40 of Annex G9 again, you recommended only 1 count of inciting to sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. You confirm this?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the 3 counts was for 3 counts of grave threats were for BBM, FL, and the former speaker.
Yes, sir.
My next question is very simple. Did you include any charge relating to contracting for the assassination?
Relating to contracting for the assassination? No, sir. Yung charge
No.
namin is grave threats,
All right. That's enough.
inciting to sedition, And on that grave threat, doon ho pumasok yung appearances na may kinontrata ang Vice Presidente.
All right. So pinagsama nyo na lahat. Even yung contracting assassin, sinama nyo na sa grave threats. According to you now.
Yun ho ang basis ng
Alright.
grave threats namin.
All right. In fact, let's go to page 13 of the Affidavit of Investigations G9. We flashed it on the screen. There. It says 1 count of inciting to sedition and ano ba to? 3-1. So 3 na 1 count of grave threats. So
Typographical
ano to? Typo na. All right, typographical error na naman. All right. So with all these mga infirmities, and you mentioned yesterday that your case is airtight, don't you think that these errors constituted violations of due process?
Your Honor, the existence of these typographical errors does not alter the fact that the video exists, does not alter the fact that the Vice President uttered those statements, does not alter the fact na ang NBI mayroong findings at ang findings nila, the Vice President committed the crime of grave threats and inciting to sedition.
Okay. Now, inciting to sedition punishes someone who incites others to overthrow the government. Is that accurate?
Who incites others, who,
Alright.
who steers,
Now, it has been over 1.5 years since VP Sara's speech. My question is, has the government been overthrown following her speech?
again, as I've said, as I've explained that, Your Honor, it is not necessary to be a
Your Honor, can we
seditious
ask that
that-
the witness answers in a more
Witness,
responsive
kindly,
manner?
Attorney Letok, kindly answer the question directly so that the court's time is not wasted.
Again, question, sir?
Has the government been overthrown following VP Sara's speech?
Not
Yes or no?
necessary, sir.
Huh?
No.
No, okay.
It's not
No.
necessary, sir.
Has any agency or department of the government been overthrown following her speech?
Not necessary, sir. No.
All right. Now, I am showing you a news article entitled Palace Dismisses Destab Rumors versus Marcos Admin. This was marked as our D-4-66. If I may ask my co-counsel to confront the witness
You
with
may do
this.
so with the participation, if so desires, by assisting counsel for the prosecutors.
For the benefit of this honorable court as well as the people watching, we already also flashed that news article. So based on this article, you confirm that Claire Castro speaks on behalf of BBM.
I don't have personal knowledge
Don't
on
have personal
that event, sir.
All right, that's okay. But based on her statement in this news article or title, do you confirm that there has been no destabilization efforts against BBM?
Again, I don't have personal knowledge on that statement made by Attorney Claire Castro.
Okay, that's okay. I'm showing you another recent article, June 12, 2026. This has been marked, Your Honor, as our D-4-67. Can we confront the witness and show also the document on screen?
Your Honor, before the good counsel proceed, can I make a manifestation? Again, these documents have yet to be authenticated. So for the record, it's like presenting these documents without proper basis and proper authentication, which I do believe should have been done before a witness is confronted with the documents.
Your
As
Honor-
per wait, I'm not yet done. I'm not yet done. As per our rules, Your
It's
Honor.
not an objection, counsel for the respondent. The remarks and comment of the counsel for prosecutors is noted. But counsel, for clarity, this is a pre-marked exhibit for the
Correct, Your
respondent.
Honor.
You may proceed, sir.
So again, based on this, just your basic reading of this, says Sara Duterte, I won't grab Marcos's position. Is this news article consistent also with the previous article that no destabilization efforts are present against the government?
Again, I don't have personal knowledge, sir.
Can I make a counter manifestation, Your Honor? This is dated June 12, 2026, 2 years after the event. Manifestation, Your Honor, please. 2 years after the Vice President uttered the threats.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Okay, I want to talk about the discussion in your affidavit of investigation. Just, I want to go through it very quickly, but the affidavit of investigation is also marked as our D-1-145-A. You mentioned in your affidavit of investigation the case of Garma versus People, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you cited the doctrine of this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you the one who typed that portion in your revised affidavit of investigation?
Or I'm the one who typed.
Yes.
Being the chief, sir, inuutos ko ho yan sa
Alright.
executive officers.
But
at,
did you read the case in full?
Yes, I think, pero not thoroughly.
Not thoroughly.
Isang basahan lang.
Now, did you read? Was there a video recording involved in that case?
No.
All right. Did that case include a public official like the vice president?
No, sir.
In fact, it involved a group of 3 farmers, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the case of Reyes versus People. You also cited that, page 29 of your affidavit of investigation. Did you read this case in full?
If I may check my affidavit,
Sure.
Your Honor.
The witness may do so.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Did you
Reyes
read
versus
this
People.
case in full?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the facts of this case?
I think it's about yung threat against a person nung nasa parang Navy office siya, and then sinundan siya hanggang sa bahay. May dalang mga placard. Yun yata yun, sir.
All right,
If I'm not
but did it
mistaken.
involve a video recording?
No, sir.
Did it involve an official like the vice president?
No, sir.
You cited Ruwaza versus People, page 29. Did you read this case in full?
Ruwaza. Saan yung Ruwaza? Yes, sir.
You read the case. Did it involve, again, a video recording?
No, sir.
Did it involve a public official like the vice president?
No, sir.
In fact, it involved tree cutting activities. Do you confirm that?
Based on the
Tree cutting. Okay, but at any rate, in paragraph 48 of your affidavit of investigation, and I'll flash that on the screen, after citing all these cases that you mentioned, you concluded, and I will read, further, the threat is intended by VP Duterte to create to the mind of President BBM, FL, former House Speaker, that regardless of the reason of death of VP Duterte, they will be killed by the person contracted by her. So in other words, you spoke about the mind of BBM, FL, and the former speaker, correct?
Your Honor, what we cited is the principle laid out by the Supreme Court and not the facts of those cases, Your Honor. And those principle is applicable in this case, Your Honor.
But that is based only on your own opinion, correct?
That is based on our investigation and the evidence that we've gathered, sir.
In fact, I have a different opinion than yours that I will show you.
Argumentative, Your Honor.
No. I'm
Argumentative.
Your Honor, I will introduce a new article.
Objection, argumentative. You don't argue with a witness. You ask question. If you're not satisfied with the answer, move on.
Then I will confront.
Attorney kindly allow the counsel for the respondent to finish his question.
Thank you, Your Honor. The opinion is not mine. This is the opinion of the late Juan Ponce Enrile, who served under BBM as Chief Presidential Legal Counsel. This has been marked as our Exhibit D-4-64. Can you flash that article? Just the title, since we don't have time. This is Juan Ponce Enrile. I'll just read the title. No criminal charge could be made versus Sara Duterte over kill remark. So isn't this opinion inconsistent with your own?
I don't have personal knowledge on that, sir.
All right, no personal knowledge again. That's okay. I'll be winding up. But do you know the difference between a felony and a crime? There's a
felony and
difference
crime.
between the two, correct?
Yeah, tell me, sir.
No, I don't. I'm not on the witness stand. So you answer the question.
Mr. Witness, kindly respond to the question. The question is, do you know? So it's answerable by a yes or no.
I think felony, sir, is in the revised penal code, and a crime can be in the special law or
I agree with
Kanang-kanan, sir.
I agree. So in other words, like homicide, for example, it is a felony because it is defined and punished under the RPC, correct?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Now, a crime is broader than a felony in that it pertains to acts or omission that are not punishable under the RPC but punishable under special laws, correct?
Yes, sir.
Like BP 22, for example, it's not within the RPC, but it's covered by special laws, correct?
Your Honor, respectfully, can I now object as to the relevance to an impeachment case, the distinction between felony and a crime?
Just laying the basis, Your Honor, I'll go to that.
He's on cross. I will give you some leeway, but kindly get your point, counsel.
All right,
In a
now,
short leash.
but do you confirm that there are felonies, there are crimes, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, now there are other high crimes, which is another category than felony or crime, correct?
Yes, sir.
And according to Article 4 of this articles of impeachment, there was high crimes that was charged against VP Sara, correct?
Yes, sir.
In other words, it is a different category than felony or crime, correct?
What do you mean by
High
that?
crimes, it's a different category than felony or crimes.
Well, there are may mga high crimes po, sir, na nasa revised penal code din, sir.
Can you give us an example?
Your Honor, I mean, is that a question, Your Honor, please?
If he knows, counsel.
If you know.
If he knows.
It's like a classroom recitation, Your Honor.
Attorney Lotok, you are very well aware of the fact that you are here as a witness in an impeachment proceeding, and that the crime investigator is being used to charge the Vice President. And as a lawyer, you also are aware of Article 11 of the Constitution with respect to accountability of public officers. So, if you know, you may answer. If you don't, you may say that you're not competent or that you do not know. So please respond.
Well, since kasi yung kayo nagbabasa, wala akong binabasa, nagre-rely ako sa memory. I cannot answer for now, Your Honor. I need to recheck the.
It does not
the
reflect
books.
on your competence or knowledge of the law, Attorney Lotok. It's okay. You were not asked to prepare for this anyway.
Thank you, Your Honor.
These are questions on cross, so we're giving the counsel for respondents some leeway. Counsel, please proceed.
All right, my next question is very simple. Is grave threats a felony?
Grave threats, that's under the revised penal code? Yes, sir.
Exactly. So it is a felony because it is defined and punished by the RTC, and it is punishable by arresto mayor, or 1 month and 1 day to 6 months of imprisonment, correct?
Your Honor, again, objection. What's the relevance?
Your
as
Honor,
to the, oh, wait,
your-
counsel, let me finish, please.
Allow
Easy,
him to finish,
easy.
counsel.
Now,
Yes.
as to what is the penalty for grave threat? That's irrelevant as to the impeachment complaint that we are litigating, Your Honor, on the ground of relevance. Unless the counsel is able to prove the relevance, I will withdraw my objection, Your Honor, please.
This is
Show
to
the
comment.
connection, counsel. Again, you're on a short leash, but I know where you're getting at. Get to it, please.
All right. In other words, grave threats is under the jurisdiction of the MTC or RTC, as the case may be, correct?
Grave threats?
Yes.
Yeah, yung pag grave threats lang, sir.
All right. It is even bailable, correct?
Pag grave threats lang, sir. Pero pag in relation to Section 6 of Republic Act 10175, that's 1 degree higher, sir.
Yeah, but does it change in jurisdiction or still with MTC or RTC?
Ano na ba yun, sir? Prison correction. Ano yun, sabi mo, sir? Ano yung prison correction na?
Arresto mayor.
Arresto mayor. Ang sunod na mas mataas po niyan is
Prison correctional.
prison
6
correctional.
months to 6 years.
Yeah.
All right. So, but either way, it's still
Pasok
under
siya
the
sa RTC, sir.
it's still under the trial courts. Correct.
Trial courts,
All
sir,
right.
yeah.
My next question is very simple again. Is inciting to sedition a felony?
Under the revised penal code, yes, sir.
It's also under the jurisdiction of the trial courts, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's even bailable, correct?
Yes, sir.
So both grave threats and inciting to seditions are felonies, correct?
Yes, sir.
In other words, they are not impeachable offenses, if you know.
Well, if you mean by impeachable offenses, whether or not magka-qualify ba siya as betrayal of public trust, it's the appreciation of the judges. Your Honor, wala ho sa amin. Sa amin ho,
Appreciation of the judges, by that you mean the trial court judges, not the senator.
no, since
judges,
impeachment to, yung impeachment court po.
Yeah,
Ang
but there's a possibility that if it's in conflict with the trial court judge's decision, then we
Ang
have a
tan-
problem.
Objection,
right?
Your Honor, argumentative.
I will withdraw that.
Sustained.
Ang tanong niyo,
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Grave threats and inciting to sedition, you said that it is not high crimes, it is a felony.
Objection. The counsel, the witness didn't say that. Misleading.
Misleading, sustained.
All right,
Kindly reform, counsel.
I'll just move on to a new point, Your Honor.
Counsel may proceed. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo is recognized for his intervention. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Judge. Napag-usapan rin lang itong inciting to sedition. Nag-file ka ng kasong inciting to sedition against BP Sara based on dun sa utterances niya, yung sa online press con, plus meron pa bang iba?
yes po, Your Honor. Yung basis ho namin, una, yung utterances in October 18, 2024. And then kinumpara ho namin siya sa utterances in November 23.
Right. So,
2024.
meron bang elements of sedition doon sa mga utterances niyo?
Ang elements na ini-establish po namin, which is under the law, is whether or not the speeches would tend to steer the people against the government.
So how would you know kung mag-steer yun ng uprising o magkukumbinsi sa mga tao na mag-alsa-masa base doon sa utterances ng BP Sara?
Yes, Your
How
Honor.
did you know?
Pangalawa, if I may explain, sir. Pangalawa po, yung if the speeches would tend to disturb the peace of the community and if the speeches would tend to undermine public safety and
So
public
how
order.
would you know if it will tend to disturb or undermine the peace
Yes,
and
Your
order
Honor.
of the community? Paano mo malalaman?
The fact ho
Based
na
doon sa utterances niya.
the fact ho na nag-issue ng statement yung mga government agencies tasked to protect national security at ang sabi ho nila that's an active threat, that's an issue of national security. So definitely na-disturb ho yung ating
How?
well, nag-alala ho ang nasa gobyerno. Kami ho per se, yung sabi ko kanina,
Nag-alala kayo o nag-alala yung taong bayan? Kasi iba yung nag-aalala kayo nasa gobyerno, kayo nag-imbestiga versus nag-aalala yung nakarinig at yung mga at that time ay nagsusubaybay doon sa mga
Yes po.
sinasabi ng BP.
Nag-alala po ang taong bayan, definitely. Kasi
How?
marami ho. Well, marami ho kaming nakita sa news, sa comments ng social media.
Comments. So that means you factored in yung comments and reactions sa social media doon sa ginawa niyang press conference, doon sa mga utterances niya, kung ano yung reaksyon ng mga netizens na nakapanood.
Yes po, Your Honor.
At ano naman yung mga sinabi doon?
Well, yun nga, yung iba nagwo-worry, ano na ba yung mangyayari sa bansa natin? Bakit magulo yung mga nasa taas? Yung iba nagsasabi, ano ba ito? Saan ba ito patungo?
So hindi pa rin seditious yun. Nag-worry lang sila saan patungo. Ang seditious is, tama ka dyan, BP Sara. Go tayo. Gawin natin yan. Nasa likod nyo kami. Yun yung sedition.
Meron nung ganon na comment din po, Your Honor.
Meron.
Meron po. In fact, doon
Ano yung
sa-
comment na yun? Kung meron.
yung supporter po ng
Ano ang sinabi?
na yun nga, yung sa people power, yung sa nasa likod mo kami, kung ano yung
Nasa likod mo kami, people power. Nabanggit yun sa comment section.
sa ano, Your Honor, sa during interview with the Vice President doon sa November 23, 2024.
So meaning, binase mo, isa dun sa mga reasons kung bakit ka nagpa ng kasong sedition, BP Sara base sa kanyang utterances, dahil finactor in mo yung mga comments ng mga nakapanood.
Yes, sir.
Yung sinasabi mong supporters.
Opo, yes, sir.
Okay, kasi pag sinabi ng mga nagko-comments, nag-worry kami, I don't think nandun yung elements of sedition.
Well,
Maliban na pag sinabi na nasa likod mo kami, let's do it, go, go, go.
Well, Your Honor,
Gagawin namin kung anong gusto mong gawin, things to that effect.
opo.
Was there? Were there
Meron na kami
comments like those?
meron na kami nakita sa mga Facebook comments, although hindi siya nasama,
Na?
na hindi siya nasama dito sa investigation.
At ano nga ulit, halimbawa?
Yung mga Facebook comments, Your Honor, na nagsasabi, lusubin na natin ang Malacanang, tapos may ganun na sign.
Lusubin na natin ang Malacanang.
Yun yung comments ko sa Facebook, yung mga nagko-comment.
At meron kang ebidensya tungkol dyan. Hindi mo to katang-isip lang.
Kung babalikan ko po, yun nga po ang sabi ko during those
Okay.
times, siyempre nagbabrowse ko kami.
Okay.
Nga lamang, hindi namin naisama sa authentication. Your
No further question, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. The Senate President is recognized. He has 2 minutes as well.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. On the same topic on inciting to sedition, Attorney Lotak, meron ba kayong nakausap na mga tao na naniwala doon sa sinasabi ni Vice President Sara on inciting to sedition? Nakita ko kasi doon sa grave threats, marami kayong in the interview. Pero in this particular case, meron ba kayong at least man lang nakausap ng mga tao, inimbestiga further kung talagang merong epekto yung kanyang mga sinabi?
So far as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, Your Honor, hindi ko kami nakapag-focus dyan. Siguro ang pwede makasagot niyan, Your Honor, yung intelligence service po namin dyan sa issue po na yan. Hindi ko kami nakapag-focus dyan to conduct investigation on
Isa
people's
para sa akin
comments.
kasi sa kabilang banda, pwede ka magsalita, pero sa kabilang banda may naniniwala ba sa'yo? So ang gusto kong malaman, kung meron kayong nakausap na mga grupo o mga anyone o naimbestigahan nyo, naniniwala talaga doon sa kanyang pinagsasabi.
I think ang makakasagot po niyan yung the intelligence service, yung director po namin, sir.
Okay.
Sa kanya po yung pool ng information ng.
And then I believe na doon sa mga sinabi niya, nangyari rin ito doon sa 2-hour video. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Tinatawag nyo rin itong may mga pinatawag kayong media personalities. Tinanong nyo ba sa kanila kung meron sa kanilang naniwala na itong mga sinabi ni Vice President ay inciting to sedition? Dapat naniwala ba sila na yung mga sinabi ni Vice President during the 2-hour video ay pinag-aalsa yung mga nandoon o naniniwala sila na yun ang tema ng kanyang sinabi?
Not specifically na inciting to sedition. Ang mga comment nila doon is na-shock sila. May comment sila doon na nasa real battle mode na siya. May comment siya doon na totoo na to, seryoso na yung galit niya. Yun ho yung mga.
Galit naman
comment
talaga siya, pero inciting to sedition ni mag-alsa.
Wala pong ganung comment during the Q&A portion, Your Honor.
And just to on a related question, Mr. Presiding Officer, inciting to sedition is serious rin, no? At kailangan din ito ng attention ng mga intelligence agencies natin. Meron ba kayong coordination with our iba't ibang intelligence agencies tulad ng National Security Council, ng PNP, ng NBI, not NBI, no, but ng ibang mga security intelligence agencies natin? Nag-coordinate ba ang NBI sa kanila? Kayo mismo nag-coordinate ba?
Ang nag-uusap po dyan, Your Honor, is kasi intelligence matter yan. Ang nag-uusap po yan between intelligence service ng NBI, intelligence units ng AFP, intelligence department ng PNP. So nasa level po nila yon, sir.
Katulad ng grave threats pagkukontrata, inciting to sedition, seryoso rito eh. Gusto ko malaman kung merong effort ang ginawa ang NBI para makipag-coordinate sa AFP, no? Sa PNP, dahil ito pinag-uusapan natin pag-aalsa o hinihimok mo mag-umalsa. No? Meron bang ganun ng mga coordination na ginawa ang inyong opisina o ang NBI?
Ang alam ko meron yan, pero nasa level na po yan, sir, ng intelligence service namin, Your Honor.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records. We thank the distinguished Senate President. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Ligarda?
Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer, just a few questions.
The lady has 2 minutes,
Yes,
ma'am. You may
thank
proceed
you.
when you're ready.
This just to provide clarity for this representation and just a few questions to Attorney Lotok.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Attorney Lotok, sa paragraph 53 ng Affidavit of Investigation na iyong pinirmahan, sabi niyo po na the Vice President's statements were brought about or motivated by unpleasant circumstances occurring before November 23, 2024 press conference.
I believe, nabasa ko po yan.
Yes.
Your
Kasama
Honor.
ba ho dito yung pahayag ng Vice Presidente noong Oktubre 18, 2024? Is that
Yes, Your
part
Honor.
of your affidavit?
Opo, Your Honor.
Yes. Bago naman po magsimula ang press conference noong November 23, mayroon mga pangyayaring kasama ang Chief of Staff, si Attorney Zulaika Lopez, na may kinalaman sa mga na-cite in contempt, sa camera, detention,
Opo.
medical emergency, at mga planong paglilipat
Yes,
sa
Your
piit-
Honor.
hindi pa po ako tapos.
Sorry po.
Ng piitan sa Correctional Institute for Women sa Mandaluyong. Tama po ba na mga pangyayaring ito ay naganap ilang oras bago yung sinagawang press conference na pinakita ilang beses sa
Ye-
video?
Yes, Your Honor. Kasama ho yan sa
Yes.
investigation namin.
Kahapon po, sinabi po ng testigo, kayo po, na kinonsider ng NBI yung so-called bigger picture. I think those were the words that you used. Sabi niyo pa, you put all the pieces of the puzzle together in your own words.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Para malinaw lamang sa impeachment court, trying to absorb everything, saan po yatang bahagi ng affidavit of investigation nakasaad yung mga factual findings ng NBI tungkol sa mga pangyayaring November 22 and 23 bago yung press conference? I was perusing the affidavit of the investigation and I could not find the detailed circumstances leading to November 23, where admittedly there was emotions like an emotional hyperbole or an outburst, but the events leading to the press conference. Saan po yun sa inyong affidavit?
I think, Your Honor, nasa affidavit of transcription ho yan.
I
Transcribe po yan as
read it
attachment.
a few times. I could not see the detailed events leading to that. Having mentioned the medical emergency, the transfers to the Correctional Institute for Women, and so that the person who will read the affidavit will have a accurate, factual, and complete appreciation of the events leading to the press conference.
Ye-
Perhaps your view, having been the person who filed the complaint, may have a different perhaps appreciation from my view because I find it somewhat incomplete. And that is just my comment on this because you clearly said you put all the pieces together. And during that time, alam ba ninyo na habang sinasagawa ng NBI ang investigasyong ito, may nakabinbin na direct assault, resistance, and disobedience to authority at grave coercion laban sa Vice Presidente, kaugnay yung insidente nangyari sa ospital, sa Veterans Medical Center.
Narinig ko lang po, Your Honor. Pero
Yes,
hindi
you
ako aware sa
heard
facts
about
na yun.
that, yes. And was there an investigation that was done regarding that incident?
I think ang focus po namin, Your Honor, is yung violation ng grave threats by the Vice President and inciting to sedition. Now, pagdating ho doon sa nangyari sa Vice Presidente, yun nga sabi ko, hindi ako aware sa kabuuan ng facts na yon. Baka yung ibang agency nag-imbestiga po doon. Hindi ako aware, Your Honor, doon sa circumstance na yon.
And so would the answer, Attorney Lotok, be a no? Were these taken into consideration in the investigation?
Again, Your Honor, nasa
Or would this be a yes, meaning it is contained in the affidavit, which I'm trying to look for as well?
nasa affidavit of transcription po yung nangyaring usapan during that time. Nag-execute ho ng affidavit of transcription ng agent on case, Your Honor.
Actually, ilang beses ko po binasa yung affidavit, and what I see is there was a focus on the October 18, but on all the events on November 22 and 23, the detailed events leading to the emotional outburst did not seem complete. And that's what I'm trying to elicit from Attorney Lotok, our witness, because when we say that we had considered the bigger picture and all the facts and circumstances leading to the cases of great threat and inciting to sedition that were recommended, we want to understand the whole process and the factual context in which it happened. Because if you are to take snapshots of events and focus on October 18 and the press conference, it can shock any person. However, if you see as well the events leading to the emotions and the detention of the chief of staff and the vice president herself, iba pa yung kasong ito, iba pa yung nadetina, iba pa yung sinampang kaso at pinagsarahan ng pinto ng ambulansya, kaya nagkaroon ng kasong ganon. I tried to read the affidavit a few times and could not find such a comprehensive enumeration of facts by the NBI, and that's why, thus this query.
Pwede na po, Your Honor.
Yes, please.
Meron hong affidavit of transcription kung ano nangyari, and then nag-submit po kami ng authenticated na video para makita ng mga senator judges natin kung what happened during those dates for appreciation po ninyo. So makikita ho rito kung ano yung took place during the November 23, 2024 online press conference. But then again, as I've said, at in-explain ko na rin ito kahapon, Your Honor, if I may, kinonsider namin yung situation ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Nakita namin yung complaint niya, yung reklamo niya, yung health condition na sinasabi niya. Sinama din po namin yon na ano ba yung nangyari. Taking all the situations or the facts and circumstances attendant to that event, hindi ho na-alter yung the fact na nag-utter ang Vice President ng grave threats against the three. Despite of the fact na merong emotional situation na gano'n, hindi rin ho na-alter na merong violation na ginawa yung Vice President during that online press conference. And as a matter of fact, even before that emotional situation, maliwanag ko doon sa utterances, even before that emotional situation, sinasabi ho doon sa utterances, meron na akong kinausap. So nag-trigger na ho yun, ma'am. Meron na akong kinausap na isang tao na papatay sa presidente, sa first lady, at doon po sa speaker of the house. So kahit sinama po namin siya to consider everything, again, Your Honor, hindi ho na bago yung utterances na ginawa ng Vice President. Hindi rin ho na bago na yung instruction niya is relentless in killing the three.
Yes. Attorney Lotok, what I've been trying to ask is not just the utterances which we've watched several times, but all the events leading to the utterances, and that is what I want. I understand what you're saying, that there were attachments or transcription, but the transcription would not be considered an assessment or an investigation. These were perhaps attached as transcription. And you earlier said that the threats are circumstantial. So the and that is the reason why I was looking for that in the affidavit of the investigation. In short, para pong nakulangan ako, pero kung sinabi niyong inattach niyo yung transcript, so be it. But then, if you will read the 50 plus pages again of your investigation, it seemed to me, at least at this point, that snapshots were taken focusing on the October 18 and the utterances, but there seemed to be events leading to it that may have not been included.
With
But I will
indulgence of Senator
leave it at
Judge
that.
Legarda,
Yes.
kindly wind up, ma'am.
Yes. So the last question, thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Na-interview rin niyo po ang mga miyembro ng media and you asked them factual information. Did you also ask them about the emotional state ng mga kalahok sa media, yung mga pangyayaring naganap bago ginawa yung mga naturang pahayag? In short, not just the factual statement, but the atmosphere, the events leading to that Zoom press conference that led to the perceived or alleged utterances.
Wala po yan sa minutes of meeting, sa Q&A. Wala po yan, Your Honor.
Should you not have asked the members of media and the others who were part of that so that you would have, in your own words, sir, the complete picture, so that everything is taken into consideration on why such a highly placed person would give such utterances, because such conditions existed that just might have elicited it. But you did not do that investigation or at least conversations with the members of media. I leave it at that. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you, Senator Judge Legarda. Senator Judge Pangilinan, you're recognized, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President.
And you may
Just,
proceed when you're ready.
a few questions on inciting to sedition.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the witness, kasi pinapaliwanag mo yung sinasagot mo yung tanong ni Senate President Win kanina, no? Nasa NBI ka na Cybercrime Division since 2018.
Yes, Your Honor. 2018.
So, naalala mo ba yung kaso ni Ronel Mas? Yung taga Zambales na nagkaroon ng Facebook post.
Yes, sir. Naalala ko po pero hindi ko kami may hawak ng case na yan.
Pero kung maalala mo, dahil division ninyo ang nagsampa ng kasong inciting to sedition. No? Tama ba?
I-check ko yung record. Hindi po
Yes.
yata ako may hawak
Dahil,
ng case.
well, to refresh your memory, nag-post siya sa social media offering 50 million to anyone who would kill former President Duterte. At that time, he
Yes,
was the
sir.
president.
Yes, sir.
So,
That's the news.
you remember that?
Yes, sir. That's the news.
Oo. Tapos, inaresto siya. Sabi niya, I will give 50 million reward kung sino makapatay sa dating presidente. So, nakita ng inyong division na ito ay inciting to sedition. Tama?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, sinampahan siya ng anti-cybercrime law.
Opo, sir.
Meron ding isang kaso, 14 May 2020. Dito naman sa Osamis. Pero palagay ko police investigation ito. No? Pero same, Cybercrime Prevention Act, inciting to sedition, ginamit ang Facebook account, Joe Mark Medina, and posted that he would give 150 million to anyone who would kill then President Duterte. So ito rin, naging kaso ng anti-cybercrime law.
Nabalitaan din po namin.
Okay. So dito sa dalawang ito, in other words, to explain inciting to sedition, ang ganitong mga remarks have the tendency precisely to if not attack the government, put it in mobilize individuals or people to go against government, tama?
Yes, sir.
So that is what you found in the earlier, in the later case of inciting to sedition that you have recommended for PI
Opo, sir. Yes, sir.
Vice President.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, yung isa sa mga heated arguments namin during that time nung ina-analyze namin yung case, nagtanong kami sa sarili namin, if we allow this unaddressed, yung pagganyan na nagbabanta sa buhay ng presidente, pag hinayaan lang natin at yan yung maging norms na ng ating society, kahit sino na lang po pwedeng gawin yon. At alam ho natin magkakagulo ho pag ganon at walang ang regulation at pag di ho in-strict yan, sasabihin ho ng mga tao, okay naman pala kahit
Lalo na ngayon
mag-threat
dahil
ka.
sa social media, no? Malaki ang
Opo.
impluwensya. Pag nakikitang nangyayari ito at hindi natutugunan,
Opo, sir.
sabi niyo may problema. Thank you, thank you. No more.
Thank you po, Your Honor.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer, just one question, quick question on this particular topic on inciting to sedition, if I may.
The gentleman may proceed.
Yes, again, let me ask the witness, just to clarify the factual basis for the National Bureau of Investigation's possible inciting to sedition. No? We recognize, Mr. Witness, yung strong criticism of the President may fall within the realm of what we call protected political speech, and it's really a balance, and somehow yun yung nagpapa-confuse paminsan, kailan nagpo-fall into grave threats, kailan nagpo-fall into inciting to sedition. Pero bilang investigador, ano po yung nakikita ninyo na sa mga pahayag at sa surrounding circumstances na naging basihan po ng NBI para tignan ito bilang posibleng inciting to sedition at hindi lamang ito pumapasok doon sa tinatawag na political criticism?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, una, kinonsider namin sino yung utterer. So, una, yung utterer, the Vice President, the second highest official of the land. Then, pangalawa, kinonsider namin ano ba yung mga in-utter ng Vice President. And then, pangatlo, ano ba yung surrounding circumstances na like naging reaksyon nung recipient nung utterances o threats. Nakita ho namin na kung pwede palang gawin ito ng isa sa pinakamataas na posisyon ng Pilipinas at hindi natin ito i-address, hindi natin i-regulate, pwede na rin po pala itong gawin ng kahit na sino. Remember, Your Honor, Vice President is kinukonsider ho natin na model bilang public official. So tinitingnan po natin siya kung ano yung actuation siya sa public, kung ano yung pakikipagrelasyon niya sa ibang public official. So again, Your Honor, nung makita ho namin yan, may effect po sa mga tao. Kung ang Vice President kayang gawin yan at wala namang nangyari, gawin na rin natin yung iba. Yung ini-explain ko nga kahapon, may pattern, may consistent siya, and the fact na bold yung mga statement, pupugutan ng ulo, this country will go to hell because the person na nakaupo is hindi marunong maging presidente. Yung mga factor ho yun, finactor in namin. Pag nakita ito ng taong bayan at walang kilos na ginawa yung gobyerno, parang domino effect po yan. Pwede na. Susunod-sunod na. Alam naman po natin ang nangyayari sa social media. So nakita namin na dangerous to, alarming siya. So definitely, nung nag-imbestiga ang NBI at nakalap niya lahat ng kinakailangang ebidensya, yung findings po namin, kasama po doon yung inciting to sedition.
Is it safe to say na yung pinaka-core nito is that when it falls under that category na it somehow steers public uprising?
Definitely, based on our investigation.
Yun
yes,
po yung
sir.
core, would
Yes,
you say?
sir.
And do you use the same methodology as you use doon sa grave test? For example, yung 4 stages na binanggit po ninyo, identification, collection, analysis, legal evaluation, yung elements na binanggit nyo yesterday, yung factors considered, delivery, literal meaning, nature, relationship to the parties, blah, blah, blah. Ito ba?
Yes, sir.
Same?
Opo,
Same?
kasama po yan sa analysis namin. Ano yung epekto nito sa publiko pag ito yung naging norms na natin.
So
at
this is
hindi natin
the same na ginamit po ninyo?
Yes, sir.
And last but not the least, Your Honor, Mr. Witness, for purposes of investigating itong inciting to sedition, may we clarify, because it was, I don't know if Senator Bongo made mention about this. To clarify lang, is it necessary that someone was actually incited? Yun po ba, just for purposes of investigating itong inciting to sedition, is it necessary that someone was actually incited para mag-fall dito?
Well, ang basis po namin yung People versus Nabong, if I'm not mistaken. In order to be seditious yung speeches, it is not necessary na mayroong actual sedition. The law also penalizes or punishes those statements na mag-i-encourage to overthrow the government or to steer the people against the government or to disturb the peace of the community or to undermine public safety and public order.
Thank you
ang
for
naging
the
consideration.
clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Senator Judge Ejercito, thereafter Senator Judge Villar. Mark, what is your pleasure, sir?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Presiding. For just one question.
You may
for
proceed,
Attorney
sir.
Nabanggit mo kanina yung yung admission against interest. Maaari po ba niyong ipaliwanag para mas maintindihan po ng nakarami? At why did you rely on this if ever ito pong admission against interest?
Yes, Your Honor. Maalala po natin yung November 2023, yung utterances niya na that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, First Lady, and the former Speaker, and that she instructed to be relentless. Itong utterance na to, instead na i-deny niya, which is definitely it should be denied kasi that's against her interest, instead i-deny niya po yon nung November 26, the video, nung tinanong siya openly and in public, kung sinabi niya yon, ni-reiterate pa po niya, Your Honor. In fact, inadmit po niya na, oo nga, may kinausap akong tao tungkol dyan. And in fact, sabi niya, may krimen ba? Ano ang nakikitang krimen doon sa may kinausap akong tao na pag namatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, patayin mo si Speaker, patayin mo si Lisa Marcos.
Was this, ito pong sinasabi yung admission against interest, was this considered in your investigation?
Yes, Your Honor. Kasama po yun. Yun nga yung naging basis namin na aside doon sa utterances niya na no joke, kasi mukhang hindi, yung no joke, sufficient na ba na talagang seryoso siya? Nung makita ko namin yung video, na ni-reiterate pa niya at nag-admit siya, we concluded na seryoso ang Vice Presidente nung in-utter niya yun.
Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you,
Thank you
Senator
po, Your
Judge
Honor.
Ejercito. Senator Judge Mark Villar, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Just a brief question for the witness. You mentioned,
Opo, Your Honor.
thank you. You mentioned earlier that there are many factors that come into play when you decide whether or not to file charges regarding grave threats.
Opo,
Now,
yes,
there
Your
are many
Honor.
factors in how you decide what constitutes a grave threat.
Yes, Your
And I
Honor.
wanted to know, what weight do you give those factors? Are there certain aspects of a grave threat that you put more importance on, whether it's the type of threat or who the threat is made to? What does does the NBI give more weight to a certain element of
Yes, Your Honor. It's a convolution of these factors na kinonsider namin. Una, yung delivery or manner in which the utterances were spoken, which is sabi ko nga, nasa atmosphere na kung saan furious and fumingly mad yung Vice President nung sinabi niya yon. And then
aside from delivery and manner, kinonsider namin yung literal meaning ng statement, which is on its face, makikita natin na even before the press conference was held on November 23, 2024. In fact, even before the questions was thrown by Princess Maui to the Vice President, the Vice President had already contracted.
But is there a, what do you give the most weight to? I'm aware that you have different factors that come into play.
Kinonsider ho namin-
Is there a specific, because binanggit nyo po yung, halimbawa, meron kayong 2 tests for grave threat. Binanggit nyo po kahapon. I just wanted to know what is the basis for, or if there is a hierarchy in the level that in all these elements, if there is a hierarchy. What the elements are,
There's a
but is there a
hierarchy,
hierarchy in those whether or not when you decide on whether or not to file charges of grave threats?
Your Honor, it's a combination ng lahat po na factor po
So nothing is given more weight than not one in your past experiences. You've never there's no everything is equal. All these factors that you've mentioned.
Well, in this case, yung literal meaning, at the same time, yung nature ng instruction.
Is it more of the type of the actual threat? If it's a death threat or if it's a, halimbawa, kung sasabihin niya, whether it's a threat of, is the gravity of the threat a factor, or is it who the threat is made to?
Yes, Your
Is
Honor.
there something that triggers your investigation more? I mean, what is there a factor that you place more weight to, or that you place more weight to when deciding whether or not to file these charges?
Yung status ho ng nagsasabi nun.
Yeah, when you made the
yung-
decision, I was curious as to what factors did you put the most weight to?
Yung nature of the instruction as well as yung the fact na may kinausap na siya bago pa man siya tanungin. Yun po yung dalawa na yun, sir.
And these are defined, are these defined in any legal, or this is just purely the discretion of the NBI, or is there a particular definition in the law that would create a hierarchy of?
I would say it
decision?
satisfies the elements of grave threats, Your Honor.
Okay, but it's not necessarily defined in the law. A lot of it is open to interpretation of the NBI. I suppose.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on facts, nakita ho namin papasok ba yung elementong ganito, elementong ganyan, elementong ganon. Nung nagkaroon ho kami ng findings, nirefero namin sa DOJ. DOJ, sir, ito ang findings namin. Ano po ang masasabi nyo? Then nag-issue ho ng certification ng DOJ at ang sabi ng DOJ, certified, all of the elements required for the crime charged is complete. So pwede na tayo mag-proceed sa preliminary investigation.
Yeah, thank you. Importante po kasi na ma-define po natin kung ano po yung grave threat, kung ano po yung, and I just want to know what latitude does the NBI have in deciding whether or not to file a charge of grave threat.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, thank you
Opo.
very much, sir.
Opo, thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Senator Judge Mark Villar. Counsel for the respondent.
Just have last few
Sorry,
questions, Your Honor.
apologies. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. You may proceed when you're ready, sir. You have no more than 2 minutes.
Thank you. Just one quick question to our witness. Inciting to sedition po yung kinaso ninyo.
Opo, Your
Tama.
Honor.
Pero hindi ba nagbo-border ito yung inciting to sedition to propaganda? Kasi po ayon po sa diksyonaryo, propaganda is a form of communication that aims to shape the people's belief, action, or behavior. Na you say something para udyukan yung tao, para magalit. So, nagbo-border ito between propaganda and inciting to sedition. What made you say that this is inciting to sedition yung pinagsasabi ni Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte?
Again, Your Honor, we consider the elements ng inciting to sedition,
Okay.
one of which is yung whether the speeches disturbs the community. And then in-explain ko na po kanina yung mga comments. At the same time, yung responses ng recipients, gaya ng several government agencies and the President himself, as well as the Speaker of the House. And then, Your Honor, whether it would undermine public safety and public order, which is malinaw ho dun sa comments at reaksyon ng ating government agencies like the PNP, like the National Security Council, at ganun din po yung Presidential Communications Office. So pinapakita ho nila doon na alarming yung situation, it's an active threat, at the same time it's a matter of national security at hindi ho ito dapat palampasin. In fact, may classification pa nga yung ibang agency natin na yung kinausap is assassin, both the PNP and the PCO, sir. So sila ho, nakalampag ho sila itong mga government agency na to doon sa utterances na ginawa ng Vice Presidente. So aside from that fact, nakita ho rin namin yung comments from social media platforms na meron ho talagang nabubuong magiging kaguluhan. Although sabi ko nga po kanina, yung comments sa mga Facebook at social media platforms, hindi lang ho namin nakasama sa affidavit of investigation po namin, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. Counsel for the respondent, for the continuation of your cross. I heard you say
Last few questions, Your Honor.
after the cross, before redirect, we shall pause for a 15-minute break. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
Attorney Lotok, does a Filipino citizen have the right to express dissatisfaction with our government?
Definitely, sir.
This is part of freedom of speech, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as long as we do not commit an act to overthrow the government, this is allowed, correct?
It depends, sir, kung magpo-fall siya sa inciting to sedition,
Okay.
sir.
But in that press con, did VP Sara directly urge the public to overthrow the government?
There was no such kind of a statement, but there was a sort of tendency because of those utterances.
All right. She merely voiced out her personal opinion during the press con, correct? Opinions during the press con.
I cannot answer to that, Your Honor.
That-
Based doon sa nakalap namin kung ano hong nandito.
That's okay. So, and just like any other ordinary Filipino who has the freedom of speech, she should be allowed to do that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Unless we are under martial law again, she should be able to speak, correct?
I cannot speak kung yung situation na yan. That's hypothetical, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honors. Okay.
Thank you, Counsel for respondent. Again, as stated by the presiding officer. Wala pa kayong balak mag-break talaga? Senator Judge Soto, let's give way to seniority. Thereafter, Senator Judge Pangilinan. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This will be very quick. Naliligaw ako eh. Because I think that even some members of the public that are watching naliligaw doon sa discussion of grave threat and inciting to sedition. Di ba sa regular courts naka-charge yun, Mr. Witness?
Sir, wala pa hong, as far as I know, as far as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, wala pa ho sa court, Your Honor. Nasa preliminary investigation pa lang ho yung case natin.
So pero sa regular courts pinafile, di ba?
Yes po. Opo.
Ang nakafile dito sa impeachment court, betrayal of public trust, di ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
At saka other high crimes.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Hindi grave threat at saka inciting to sedition, di ba?
I think yung Article 4 yata may nakalagay doon, Your Honor, na
Pero hindi yun ang main charge, di ba?
yes, Your Honor.
Betrayal of public trust.
Opo.
Sige. Kasi naliligaw ako eh.
Thank you po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Senator Judge Soto. Senator Judge Pangilinan.
Yes, very quickly lang dahil napag-usapan ito since nag-umpisa tayo ng hearing. Yung authenticated video ba AI?
No, sir.
Ito ba
Yes,
fabricated?
No, sir. It's
Ito
not
ba
fabricated.
spliced?
Hindi po, sir.
So in other words, yung video ay accurate
Yes, sir.
and representation of what happened.
Authenticated.
Kasi
sir. Yes, po.
dalawang linggo na nating dinedebate kung i-admit ba o hindi o et cetera. Hindi naman din sinasabi ng prosecution na altered or spliced or yung defense altered or spliced. Tama?
Yes, sir. Obviously,
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
well, Ubius, one of the ways to identify whether AI siya o hindi, isa ho doon yung tinatawag naming visual analysis. Number one, yung human anatomy anomalies. So pag yung merong asymmetrical facial feature, pag merong unnatural positioning of hands, pag merong
Yung
tinatawag
nagiging
na-
6 o 7 yung daliri, ganun.
Opo, Your
Oo.
Honor. And then, kinukonsider din ho namin yung tinatawag naming temporal artifacts doon sa visual analysis. Meaning, kung sa one frame, ito ang condition, then pag tinuloy-tuloy mo nang i-play, minsan mawawala yung buhok, mawawala yung relo. So wala hong ganon na mga circumstances na
So for
nakita
the record,
namin.
lahat ng mga video na pinakita natin dito sa impeachment court, na pinakita ng defense at ng prosecution, lahat yon authentic.
Yes,
For
Your
the
Honor.
record, no?
Yes, Your
Whether
Honor.
the witness or at least both. Okay. Just to put it also on record na dito sa mga sinulat, kasi nung nag-imbestiga kayo, sumagot yung lawyer, di ba? Ni Vice President Sara. Itong dated saan ba yun? Annex I, sorry. No, Annex J. Yung Annex J, sinasabi, sumagot yung Vice President, yung abogado ng Vice President, no, na our client vehemently denies Annex K having made any threat constituting grave threats under Article 282 of the revised penal code in relation to so forth and so on. Since your office acknowledges, kayo yun, ano?
Opo.
That it has access to publicly available materials on the internet, diba? We are confident that the content will and context of the entire press conference subject matter of your investigation will bear this out.
Yes po.
So my question is, ito ba yung ginamit ninyong video? Yung sinasabi nilang it has access, since your office has access to publicly available material.
I believe so, Your Honor. In fact, yung video na yan is existing up to May
Yes.
2025.
Okay, so in other words, kahit ang Vice President's office referred to the video in your possession as part of yung kanyang clarification and defense na hindi grave threats ang nangyari.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. No other question for this.
Thank you. Chair declares. You want to do that now, Senator Judge Padilla? Yes, Senator Judge Padilla would like to interject before we go on a break. You may proceed, sir.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Tagapamahala ng Hukom at sa ating Ginoong Pangulo. Maari po ba makapagtanong sa ating mahal na saksi?
Opo, Your Honor. Maaari
Opo.
po.
Ang una ko pong katanungan sana ay taga saan po kayo na lugar, na probinsya?
Tacloban, sir.
Tacloban.
Tacloban City,
Opo.
sir.
Kayo po ngayon ay Regional Director ng NBI sa BARM.
Yes, sir.
Opo. Yun po ba ay isang promosyon para sa inyo na madala sa BARM? Dahil totoo po ba na kayo ang tinatawag na Golden Boy ngayon sa NBI?
I cannot comment on that po, Your Honor.
Kasi po ang
Nasa BARM po ako. Wala ho ako ngayon sa
Opo.
main office, sir.
promotion po ba yon? Yung napunta kayo sa BARM? Balita ko po kasi ilang beses na kayo na-promote sa NBI. 12 years na po kayo, no, sa NBI.
Yes, sir.
Opo. Ilang beses na po kayo na-promote?
Since na pumasok ko ako sa NBI,
Opo.
sir. From investigation 1, 2, 3 noong 2015, 2016. Well, nung mula ako na pumasok ako sa academy, from investigation 1 hanggang ngayon sa regional director, sir.
Ilang beses po yan? Sa isang taon po,
Sa isang taon? Anong taon po, sir, ang tinutukoy nyo?
Bago po kayo napunta sa BARM.
Bago ho ako napunta sa BARM, regional director po ako ng Mimaropa.
Mimaropa.
Region 4B, sir.
Opo. Kayo po ba ang pumili sa BARM? Na
Hindi
kayo
po, sir.
mapunta to?
In the exigency of service, doon po kami nilalagay kung ano ang tingin ng direktor na makakatulong kami sa bureau.
Bakit po kaya naisip ng direktor na sa BARM po kayo? Kayo po ba ay may kaalaman sa Islam?
Hindi ko po alam kung ano ang naging basis ng direktor, pero
Kayo po
ah,
mismo, kayo po mismo. Ang BARM po kasi is Muslim Mindanao.
yes, Your Honor.
Opo, meron po kayong kaalaman sa Islam?
In terms of what do you mean kaalaman, sir? Yung
Sa religion po ng Islam kasi Muslim Mindanao. So ibig sabihin, so kahit basic po siguro ng Islam, no?
yes, sir. Kahit naman ho sino pwedeng i-assign kahit saang regional office dito sa Pilipinas.
Di ba po parang
Regional
autonomy
director.
ang autonomous region ng Muslim Mindanao. So kailangan man siguro kahit paano meron kayong kaalaman sa Islam.
Konti siguro, sir.
Ano po yung konti na yun?
Well, isa po akong Kristiyano at hindi ko ho malalaman yung kabuuan nung
Siguro po dapat meron kayong basic din na knowledge ng Islam. Ano? So pangalawang tanong po, okay na po yun. Pangalawang tanong po, meron po ba kayong, sa tagal nyo po sa NBI, 12 years, meron po ba kayong na-encounter na kaso ninyo sa NBI? Kayo po mismo na-filean ng kaso?
Your Honor, normal ho sa mga NBI agents na makakasuhan. In fact, maging sa sinumang law enforcement agency, that's the price we pay for doing our job and for protecting the country. As a matter of fact, in the NBI, Your Honor, we avoid the noise. We just finish the job.
So
sir.
ano po yan? Yes? Yes po yan? Yung sagot nyo? Yes?
Normal ho yan yun sa amin.
So yes po?
Attorney Loto, kindly answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Ano pong, pwede po bang malaman kung ano pong mga naikaso sa inyo?
Well, wala ho pa akong natanggap na official case galing sa ombudsman, pero may nakita na ho akong complaint na binigay sa akin from NBI. Hindi ko na ho maalala yung sa case na yan, pero nung chinek po namin yung case na yan, Your Honor, sabi ko doon sa mga kasama ko, tingnan nyo nga yung validity at authenticity ng case na to. Pinuntahan ho namin yung nagnotaryo, I
So
think
meron
Makati
po, no?
Court yun.
Oo.
Yung Makati Court, nag-issue ho ng certification na fake yung notary diyan sa reklamo na yan. So sabi ko, huwag nyo nang pansinin, marami tayong trabaho. Kung fake yung notaryo na yan, mere scrap of paper yan. Huwag na nating pansinin. Although, nag-aantay po ako, Your Honor, na mag-notify sa akin ng OMB kasi sasagutin po namin na eto ho ang nakalap namin, may dalawang Chinese na nagreklamo. Chinek ho namin doon sa BI, yung dalawang Chinese na yan, I think 9 months nang overstay at pinaghahanap din ng
Ano pong kaso po
Bureau of
yung
Immigration.
ipinatong sa inyo? Anong kaso?
Hindi ko ho maalala, Your Honor. Meron ho, may mga kaso ho doon na nakalagay. Pero again, sabi
Wala
ko
po
nga,
kayong isa kahit maalala na ipinatong sa inyo?
if I'm not mistaken, arbitrary detention, may ganun ba? May unlawful arrest. Wala ho sa akin ng record kasi nga, sabi ko nga, nung makita namin na fake yung notary, hindi na ho namin binigyan ng pansin, Your Honor.
Kasi napakakapal po nitong hawak ko.
Wala akong problema, Your Honor.
Oo,
Sasagutin po
kakapal.
namin yan.
Opo.
Sasagutin ko
Hindi
po
niyo
yan.
pa po nasagot magmula noong February 29
Kasi wala pa hong official notice galing sa kung anong ahensya.
na nakarating po sa inyo. Wala pa.
Wala pa ho. Ang nakuha ko lang, yung kopya niyan, siguro may nagpadala sa akin. Sabi ko, teka muna, wala akong official na nare-receive from OMB. So, nung chinek ko namin, kung nag-i-exist ba yung kaso, fake yung notary, hindi na namin
So, ibig niyo
binigyan ng
pong
pansin.
sabihin hanggang ngayon, hindi kayo sigurado kung nag-i-exist to.
Dapat may notice na ako from ombudsman.
Oo, di ba po dapat ang reaction ng isang tao kapag may kaso, harapin?
Precisely,
Kasi
Your Honor. Hinihintay ko nga po yung notice from ombudsman na pag meron na hong notice
Wala
ang
po kayong
ombudsman,
notice hanggang ngayon sa
wala pa
ombudsman?
po, Your Honor. Yun nga ang inaantay ko kasi sasagutin namin kasi meron po kaming certification na fake yung notary. Inaantay ko po, Your Honor.
Mas maganda po, maharap nyo kagad.
Definitely, hindi ho namin tatakbuhan yan, sir.
Kasi napakahalaga po ngayon nito.
Yes, sir.
Oo, ito po ay ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay napakahalaga.
Yes, sir.
Opo, at ito pong mga kasong ipinatong sa inyo, perjury, robbery, extortion, theft, mainam po ito
As I've said, Your Honor, in the NBI, we avoid the noise. We just finish the job, sir.
Opo, opo. Meron po akong tanong. Pangatlo. Opo. Kanina po na ang ganda ng talakayan nyo tungkol sa Romanov.
Yes, sir.
Opo. Alam niyo po ba yung istorya ng Romanov? At ang gaganda po ng mga sagutan ninyo, alam niyo po ba yung historical background ng Romanov?
Ang alam ko lang po dyan, Your Honor, yun yung nangyari sa, I think, Tsar, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, sa Russia.
Sa Russia.
Opo,
Opo. Sino po ba yung nakalaban ng Tsar?
Again, hindi ko po maalala, hindi ko po nakita yung buong...
Yun. Kasi napakahalaga po malaman ng taong bayan kung sino po ang tinatawag natin na Romanov at
Yes,
sino yung nakalaban nila. Kasi po, katabi ko ang isa sa Marcos family.
Yes, sir.
Alam naman po natin lahat, batid natin lahat, na si Apo Lakay, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., ang number 1 na lumaban sa komunista dito sa Pilipinas. Batid naman din po natin na ang nag-execute sa Tsar kay Nikolai at sa kanyang mga anak, sa kanyang pamilya, ay ang komunista. Alam mo po ba niyo yun?
Yes, sir.
Opo. Ngayon, sino po ba ang pangalawang pangulo na lumaban sa komunista?
Sino po, sir?
Ay di si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Hindi ba po dapat isipin natin yung Romanov ay tungkol sa threat na pumapasok sa mga pamilya na mga namumuno dito sa ating bayan na lumalaban sa komunista. Komunista po ako. Gusto ko lamang pong alamin ninyo.
Yes, sir. Well, insofar as the investigation on the issue of whether or not may Romanov or operation of Romanov, ang sabi ko po kanina, nasa intelligence service po namin yan. At I think ang makakasagot po niyan, Your Honor, yung director po namin.
Opo, kasi nabanggit nyo kanina sa usapan po ninyo si Baste.
Yun po yung...
Sinasabi nyo po kasi kanina sa usapan po ninyo, sa napakagandang usapan, na yung Romanov, hindi na ipapaliwanag kasi kung ano ba yung ugat nun. Napakahalaga po na alam natin yung ugat. Si Presidente Marcos Sr. ang lumaban sa komunista, kaya nagkaroon ng threat noong 1986.
Yes, sir.
Ngayon, sinasabi ni Baste na nagkakaroon ng threat sa kanila pamilya sapagkat alam naman nating lahat na ang nagpatuloy ng paglaban sa komunista pagkatapos ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay si Inday Sara Duterte, ang ating Vice President. Sumasang-ayon po ba kayo doon?
Wala po akong personal knowledge, sir.
Ay, bakit po kayo walang personal knowledge? Yun po ang sumunod na assignment ng ating Vice Presidente pagkaupo niya. Siya po ang nag-take over ng NTF-ELCAC. Hindi po alam ng NBI yun.
Well, nag-NTF-ELCAC siya, pero yung factual circumstances doon,
Factual,
wala pa po akong...
wala po kayong... Pero alam niyo po, sagutin na lang po ninyo na siya ang nag-take over ng NTF-ELCAC.
Yes, Your Honor.
Opo. Isa na lang po, ginoong tagapamahalang hukom. Sabi niyo po kanina, ulitin ko lang po, gusto ko lang pong malaman uli. Inamin niyo po na wala kayong personal knowledge tungkol dun sa threat ng Pangulo? Ng pangalaw, sabi niyo po kanina, wala kayong personal knowledge na kumuha na ng assassin o papatay sa Pangulo, ang pangalawang Pangulo? Narinig ko po kanina.
During that time?
Yes or no lang po?
During that time, ongoing ho ang validation namin,
So,
sir.
ibig niyo pong sabihin ngayon, meron na kayong personal knowledge na meron na kayong...
Hindi po, ongoing po ang validation. At sabi ko nga po, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung intelligence service namin at ang director po namin, sir.
So hanggang ngayon po, wala pa kayong personal knowledge?
In so far as the Cybercrime Division is concerned back then,
Hindi po,
ongoing
ngayon po.
ho yung
Yes or no po?
validation.
Ngayon po, sir. Mahal naming saksi. Ngayon po.
Kung ako tatanungin, wala pa po akong idea, pero baka meron ang intelligence service o ang director po namin.
Attorney Lato, kindly answer the question directly. It's answerable by yes or no. And I think
Yes,
you
sir.
know the answer.
Opo. Well, ako personally, wala pa po, sir.
Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po,
Thank
mahal
you.
na saksi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Your
you, Senator Judge Padilla. Chair declares a 15-minute recess. We shall resume at 5:38. at exactly 5:38. Trial is on short recess.